Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the panel. We will be talking about the biggest winners of the 2024 offseason, and this is part 3. If you haven't watched part 1 or part 2, go back, watch those videos, like that video. But now, here we are. Chill. You were just having an interesting discussion.
Yeah, me and Mars was talking about. I had a conversation this morning, and guy tried to sell me the idea that peak Leonard is better than peak Bryant, and I had to straighten Mars out about how I feel about Bryant. And when we talking about how good Kawhi Leonard was at his peak compared to how good Bryant was 07, 08, 09. I mean, we're talking about mid-range jump shots. If you want to bring numbers in, well, Kawhi Leonard was better in the mid-range than Kobe. He was a better on-ball defender than Kobe. He cleared Kobe defensively. No, he did not. They both had similar deficiencies on defense, off the basketball. Both of them, when they got their heads turned, they were a detriment. I won't argue that. Kobe Bryant kind of struggled with fouls, but for the most part, he was still elite in 06, 07, 08, 09 on the defensive side of the ball. I think Leonard, when we're talking about a defensive player, I think Leonard, I don't think he clears him, but I do think it's a conversation. I don't think that Leonard was that much better than him. But when we're talking about overall from 07, 08, 09, Leonard wasn't touching that dude. No, he wasn't. He was not touching that dude.
Okay. Well, apparently he's touching KD as well. MTL, John, did you guys see that episode yesterday?
I watched about half of it. I had something to do, so I watched the first half. I didn't get a chance to finish the whole thing.
No. What are we talking about? Sorry.
The best small forwards of all time, the top 10. That's what we did yesterday. Very good list for the most part.
Okay, I saw the point guard list. I didn't get to see it yesterday though.
You like our point guard list?
I liked it.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty solid.
I was cool.
Thank you very much.
I really enjoyed the Nash and Rondo debate.
Yeah.
Who better?
Oh, I'm taking Nash 100%. I just really like
taking Nash too.
You guys know ball. That was just a test. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been allowed up here today.
Man. You guys sleep on Rondo. But anyways, here's the top small forward list. Right here.
Stop right there, Ron, because you make me nuts with this. You guys sleep on Rondo. What are we sleeping on, Ron, exactly? In your estimation, if we're sleeping on Rondo, what are we sleeping on when we're sleeping on Rondo? What are we missing that we should be seeing that we haven't seen with Rondo?
I like guys that are high-level players and
Nash.
high IQ guys.
Nash.
That do everything.
Mostly
everything,
Nash.
Chill. No.
Mostly Nash.
Oh,
mostly Nash. I like the
mostly Nash.
Mostly Nash.
Probably is going to take it for this episode. Because now you're trying to give him credit for, yes, offensively, he checks just about every box. But does he check the rebounding box? He was a fairly good rebounder for who he was. But
no, you can say no. We can say no. Yes,
okay.
No.
Rondo as a 6'2" guard, rebounding, playing defense, scrappy, on and off the ball, diving for loose balls, things like that. But just also too a locker room guy. He literally checks every single box.
Nash.
Every single box.
And just so you know, Ron,
the scoring box, the shooting box, those boxes don't exist.
And on top of that, and on top of the shooting. And on top of the shooting box and the scoring box, Ron, you do know that Ray Allen and Rondo put on the gloves and box.
Yeah, I was gonna say good luck.
You did know that?
Yeah,
we talk about locker room guys.
Steve Nash had locker room problems too.
Never heard of Steve Nash getting.
Steve Nash had someone dilly-dallying with his.
Yeah,
that had nothing to do with him in the locker room, though. That had nothing to do with him in the locker room.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He packed him up real quick. He was on the team real quick.
He needed to leave her out of the locker room. He brought distractions around the team.
But Ron, let's get back to this checking all the boxes logic. Let's get back to that for a second. So
let's do it.
So Nash checks the shooting, distributing, playmaking, ball handling, assist to turnover ratio, money at the free throw line, steady point guard, takes care of the basketball, sets the tempo, completely has all of your attention as an offensive player during the game. Can Rondo check all of those boxes?
Yes. The Rondo shooting thing was a myth. You guys got so caught. Yes. You guys got so caught. No. Here's the thing. You guys, just like Sabonis, for instance, just because he doesn't shoot it doesn't mean he can't shoot it. Now, early on in his career, I'll give it to him. He wasn't really a shooter. As he started getting older, Rondo was banging that three. When he shot it, he just didn't shoot it consistently because he didn't need to shoot it.
Ron, are we having a conversation about Rondo being a respectable shooter? Or
I'm about to find like 6 clips of Steve Nash playing good defense and say that Steve Nash defense thing is a myth. Like, what?
I've seen Rondo knock that three down.
I've seen Steve Nash get a stop.
I've seen Steve Nash drop his ass and get his hands busy. I've seen him poke the ball away. I've seen him do that, Ron. Have I seen him do it as consistent as Rondo? No, I have not. I have seen Steve Nash get his feet moving, though. Yes, I have, Ron. I did see that. Does that mean that Nash is an all-league defender now? Oh, boy. Is Nash a respectable defender now, Ron? Is that what we're doing?
Rondo was a better shooter than Nash was defender.
No, absolutely not. No.
Rondo was 100% a better shooter than Steve Nash was a defender. And honestly, outside, I'm looking at it right now. Outside of Boston, like and that's what I said. When he got to his later years, when he left Boston, when he got to Sacramento, when Chicago, on and on, Rondo was a respectable shooter.
When did he first shoot above 70% from the free throw line?
How about never, Ron? Mars. I don't ever remember him shooting over 65% from the stripe.
That's my point guard, by the way, who can't be trusted with late game free throws. That's my point.
There you go. That's number one.
That's shooting, by the way. Free throw shooting is shooting. Just want to put it out there.
That is.
And number two, Ron, you talk about defense. As bad as Nash was defensively, there was effort there. Very, very much. There was some effort there. Okay,
Chill.
It wasn't like he was just Olay and no. There was some effort there.
Hey,
there was.
As Duck
The scouting report on Rondo was leave Rondo open. That was the scouting report on him. We will live with every time he shoot the ball. We'll live with that.
So what was more of a liability?
What was more? Oh, definitely Rondo. Well, number one in the meet. Here's why.
Chill, you just want to argue this morning.
Really? Ron,
Yes.
So we're in late games, and my lead guard, my primary ball handler, I can't trust him with the basketball because when he goes to the strike, he shoots 60%. So I don't know if he's going to knock down free throws. Meanwhile, Steve Nash, 90% at the strike. But on the defensive side of the ball, we do have guys who can protect him, and he's going to give me some effort. On some level, he's going to give me some effort. Now, what problem is more remedied? The problem of my primary ball handler when we are in games where it's close, which is more likely than my point guard who is deficient defensively that I can protect him. Which problem is more remedied, Ron?
Well, I would like to say that those problems didn't actually turn out to be problems on his way to winning multiple championships.
I knew he was going to bring that
playoff runs. It didn't seem to be a problem while he was winning.
He won more. GG's. You know.
I think it's easier to mask a bad defender at the lead guard position than it is to mask a non-shooter at the point guard position. I mean, you can put multiple solid defenders around Steve Nash and with the shooting, the ball handling. I think it's easier to mask, in my opinion. I just think it is.
It's not that difficult, Ron, as a defender. If I got Kevin Garnett running with me, the glass cleaner that he is, and Tony Allen, it's not that difficult. I think I can handle myself as good as a defender as Rondo is. Meanwhile, Steve Nash taking the Suns to the Western Conference Championship without his best player in Stoudemire.
They still had a good team, though.
Okay. So does Rondo check more boxes to you than Trae Young and Luka Doncic?
Yeah, absolutely.
So Rondo's better than
Rondo's better than Luka.
Yes, Rondo. He got to be better than him, Moss. Yes.
I don't know about better.
I know about that. No, he's not.
He's not better than Luka.
Yeah, 'cause
What's happening right now?
Here's the thing.
Did I
like,
start this? I'm sorry if I started this.
Offensively, he might not be better than Luka. But here's what I'm gonna say. Here's what I'm gonna say. It's certain teams where I'm not even thinking about it. I want Rondo. Certain teams.
All 30 teams are saying they want Luka. All 30.
And the new expansion teams.
Let me think of who's it?
Ron, the Boston Celtics would take Drew Holiday off the floor and put Luka on the floor. They ain't doing that with Rondo because we already got that.
This Boston Celtics team will be amazing with Rondo.
And guess what?
Luka might actually get in the way.
I'm sorry if I started this. I apologize.
Where's the factor ads when we need it, Ron? Cut yourself off, please.
How much do y'all think like Steve Nash's 3-point shooting would jump up in today's game, or his points per game will come up in today's game? Because I looked at his numbers and he was shooting around 40% from 3 on 3 or 4 attempts. And then I saw him talking to D'Antoni. He was like, we didn't know that we could end up winning with taking more threes instead of mid ranges and having Steve Nash be the kind of the lead scorer for the team. So how much do you guys think he would have improved in today's game, knowing what they know now?
The only reason why they aren't a bigger deal is because they didn't win. They were the model for what the Golden State Warriors were doing. If they had won, Nash would be a way bigger deal than what he is. He would have shot it. He would have shot it more by his own admission and just by the game changing. The amount of deep twos Nash took, and he was efficient on them, for the time and just generally. So it was still cool. But if he just turned them into threes, even if he shot instead of 43, 45%, whatever he was shooting, and it just went down to 41%, 40%, that would just elevate him. I don't know what point per game average would be because he's still going to be a pass first, pass second, shoot third type of guy. But his scoring numbers would have looked better. And it's not like he was just getting a bunch of catch and shoots. He was self-generating his threes too. So that just being an option for him would have been very valuable. But I think it was fine the way they did it in the late 2000s. The Suns' offense was never the problem. So that was never really my concern. Nash should have scored more. I hear that a lot. It's Nash didn't win because he didn't know when to be aggressive as a scorer. That's not why the Suns didn't win. That's never been why the Suns didn't win. But that's just what people want to say because they need to find a way to blame the best player for the team's shortcomings. When you just be the team just wasn't built to win. And the one time they probably were, they got cheated. It's cool. It happens. It is what it is.
Mars, can I ask, if you was to switch Steve Nash with Trae Young in 2021, do they get farther? Same style of play that that he plays. Do you think he would be a better version?
I think he's better than Trae Young, but I don't think he's as dialed in as a scorer as Trae is. But I don't think the Hawks really needed that. I think they just needed elite offense, and I think Nash would have provided that. Yeah, well, they would have just lost to the Bucks anyway. They would have lost, but I think they could have got to the conference finals still. But I don't think they would have beat the Bucks. Although Giannis got hurt.
Yeah, Giannis was hurt. He wasn't there.
I still think they lose to the Bucks. But yeah, I think they get back to the conference finals. But that's just how good I think Nash is offensively. So yeah, he really good, really good player.
Oh yeah.
So Nash and Trae Young's a conversation.
You can have that conversation. I'm picking Nash every time.
But it's a conversation though.
Anything can be a conversation if you make it a conversation. We just had a Rondo and Luka conversation. Anything could be a conversation.
Here's my thing though, and this is my only thing with Nash, is I feel like it is a big pool of point guards that we can throw in that offense, and they would all put up massive numbers too. They would all look great, and that offense would be. It might not be as efficient, and it might not be as great, but that offense will look pretty damn good.
Raymond
Trae Young being one of them. Mars, come on, we don't gotta.
He was 17-9. Nash was 18-11. It's the same thing if you really think about it.
So Trae Young, for instance, Trae Young would be amazing in that offense.
Yes.
No.
Oh,
And they would do the same.
Oh,
with Phoenix, with
Yes.
that offense, no.
Yes.
With Trae Young's shot selection, I think that's what the divide is. Nash. The reason why Nash was as efficient as he was because he took good shots. That was the difference. And in addition to him taking good shots, he didn't stifle his offense. he was always looking for guys. Even though Trae Young is a damn good passer, I won't argue that, but he was always looking for guys. So in addition to him taking good shots and drawing in the defense like he did, he was never, ever left wide open unless he was in transition and he created that wide open shot, which now creates open looks for his other guys, which he was looking for them. I'm like, Steve Nash in today's game, yes, he would be fantastic. No doubt about it.
I do think Steve Nash should kill today's game. Like, I don't question that one bit. Steve Nash should be a hell of a point guard today. Steve Nash better than SGA today?
I'm biased.
I don't know.
Well, today I don't know, but I think Steve Nash in the 2000s is better than SGA is today. But in today's game, I don't know. I'd have to see the scoring, aggression, and all those things.
I think
And he'd be much worse defensively today because of the mismatch hunting and stuff. Like back in the day, they used to just hide him on like a Bruce Bowen, and the Spurs wouldn't really like try and pick him apart. And then every time he was on Tony Parker, he just got torched. In today's game, he's getting brought into every action. He'll be even worse defensively. So I don't know in today's game, but in his time, I think Steve Nash was the best.
All right, y'all. San G's started the show off with a super chat. So before we get into our biggest off-season winners, I'm going to go ahead and show some love to Sands. He said 2 questions really quickly. Who's everyone's top 5 players in 2021? Mine were Steph, KD, Giannis, Jokic, Kawhi / Bron / James Harden. So your top 8 players or 7 players. Then he said 3-way tie. And also, why does everyone always assume 2013 Bron is the best when 2012 was better?
I think 13 was better because I trusted the jump shot more. That's why I think 13 was better than 12. And top 5 and 21, I don't have an order, but Steph, Giannis, Jokic, KD, Kawhi,
Yes.
probably. That would probably be the 5 I go with.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe James Harden because he was really good, but he got hurt in the playoffs. So, but then so did Kawhi.
Now, remember the James Harden we talking about, Mars? That's the James Harden when the season starts. Remember him with the fat suit?
Yeah, that was like 7 games. I'll
dude?
live with 7 games of Fat Harden. I'll live with 7 games of Fat
I don't
Harden.
know, man.
Everything else beyond Fat Harden was really good.
Yeah.
And then he got hurt. Like that James Harden.
That's why he
very
got hurt,
underrated
though,
season.
Mars. That's why he
You
got
wanna say
hurt.
that's why he got hurt? Yeah, whatever. He was really good. So I don't know. Maybe James Harden's in there. Steph, Giannis, Jokic, Kawhi, KD, James Harden. I got 6 top 5 players. That's the best I can do.
I think at that time I would have Harden over Jokic. At that time, I feel like that was like when Jokic was like first really making his name, but coming off of the 2020 season, people was kind of low on Jokic, and he started rising that year. I feel like it's fair to still say Harden still had him by a little bit at that time. That's
James isn't in that
opinion.
conversation because he got hurt that year. He missed
Yeah.
like 15 or 20 games or something like that.
Yeah.
Anthony
So
Davis.
That's on the Nets, right?
That's Nets Harden, yeah. Nets Harden.
Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say I agree with Mars. Steph Curry, Giannis, Kawhi, KD, Jokic. I can get down with that.
Yeah, I don't think KD was the best though, but I didn't think he was the best at any point.
He missed half the season, Omar. So if we doing that, if KD did miss half the season, does injury account into this? When we're talking about, I mean, that was a 72-game season. He ended up pulling his hamstring, and he ended up missing half the season that year. I think he had a knee injury that year too. So
Isn't that the year Bruce Brown landed into him?
yeah, and into his knee. But earlier in the year,
They were load managing him because he came off the Achilles. That's what they did.
But he had a
So,
hamstring
yeah.
injury that year too, though, Mars. He missed a bunch of games because of that hamstring injury.
That's
I don't
Mars-
remember, but I
yeah.
believe you. I don't remember,
Yeah.
but I don't think you're lying to me.
Right.
But like, yeah, but then he was available in the playoffs, so I guess like he get the little luxury of that.
Sure.
And then he was really, really good in the playoffs too, so that helped.
That's
But-
foot on the line versus Bucks.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mhm.
KD.
But
was
it-
that year.
yeah, but
That
35
KD
games out of
was
72, I understand saying yeah he wasn't available enough, but nah, I'm sorry, man. KD was in my top 5.
Yeah, KD was ridiculous that year.
Yeah, I gotta give him that one.
Looking back on it though, I'll just have to be honest. Jokic was not in my top 5.
He wasn't in anyone's top 5.
Yeah. He for sure
not
wasn't.
undisputed. It wasn't a question. Like it's not like it is today where Joker is undoubtedly a top 5 player. In 2021, he wasn't undisputed a top 5 player. That was not going on. No, it wasn't.
And he was, for some people, he was just creeping into their top 10.
Yeah.
Jokic, the rise of Jokic was slow. It
really was 2022 when he really blew up as a player.
He just became elite the year before. Literally the year.
Okay,
before.
no. He became elite in 19.
Yeah,
he became elite in 19. 20 was
Okay,
actually a down year for Jokic, but then they came back from 3-1 twice.
That's what I'm thinking.
And it was like, oh,
The year
Denver's
before
next
that.
up, and then he elevated to MVP level, and then Jamal Murray goes down, so they did nothing in the playoffs. And then 22, no Jamal Murray, no MPJ again. He does what he does, and it's like, Jokic might be top 5, but he hasn't won anything, so he can't be the best. And then 23 happens. Oh my God, Jokic been the best player in the world for 17 years. Like,
revisionist history.
Man, yeah, you gotta love the basketball. community.
Revisionist
Where
history.
you do.
He been awesome for 8 or 9 years. No, he wasn't. Let's
I
relax.
knew this from when he was in Serbia. Like,
No, he wasn't. Chill out. No, you didn't.
I saw him playing summer league.
Fellas, in 2021, I still had Bron in my top 5.
I did too.
yeah, but then he got hurt and just wasn't good in the playoffs, so that's why I had him
Right.
down.
I mean, if you take the injuries out of it, I would feel like you have to put Embiid in that conversation too.
22
Damn, I
was the last
forgot he
year.
existed. You know, I forgot Embiid existed.
Yeah, he was tough, and then he got injured too, I believe, if I remember right.
It was just rough for
Tore his
Embiid around
meniscus.
this time because Steph was still Steph. KD, we just spoke on him. Giannis, we all know how dominant Giannis was. Bron was Bron. Kawhi, I mean, outside of injuries, because you can make that case for Kawhi too. Kawhi was still him. And then James Harden, fat suit or not, James Harden was just James Harden. So it's like
He broke down too.
these are all-time greats. And Embiid is like, it's just a rough argument for Embiid because it's like, bro, you got it, but you still haven't shown us anything.
Where was he, Ron, in the 5-man conversation? Joel Embiid in 2021. Where was he in the 5-man conversation?
1 or 2.
He was top 2. He was top 2.
Yeah.
Was he behind Joker or was he ahead of Joker?
I think at this point he's ahead of Joker.
In
The
21.
popular, not consensus, because it was closer. The popular opinion was Embiid was better
Yeah.
because Jokic couldn't play defense. That was
Right.
the common opinion. But I had Jokic. But the common opinion was Embiid was the better player, two-way play, all of those things, which I think were valid at the time because Jokic in 21, I actually think was just a bad defender. But I think he got better in following years. So I can understand not having Jokic in top 5 in 21 because of the defense. But for me, he was in there. That offense was something special.
Yeah, it's gonna be funny in a few years, 4 or 5 years from now, us going back and looking at things because now we have it recorded and whatnot. So it's like, who was your top 5 player? No, you lied because you said this, but we know during this time that you had this person in your top 5. It's gonna be funny digging up those clips and stuff.
It was after 22 that I had James outside the top 5. That was the last year that I thought I had him in the top. That I had him in the top 5 in 22.
Yeah, that's the year they missed the playoffs, right?
Yes, that was the last year that I had him in the top 5. After that, I still thought he was playing at a top 10 level, but that was the last year that I had him top 5.
I can see that.
I think it's so tricky with LeBron because, like, in a 7-game series, I don't think there's a lot of players I would take over LeBron James, but over a course of an 82-game series, I wouldn't have him top 5.
Right.
So I think that's where it confuses me at times because, like, sometimes I watch LeBron, I'm like, he could still be a top 5 player, and then sometimes I'm like, yeah, he didn't even box out and he gave up a key rebound or he missed this cut. I wouldn't think of him as a top 5 like throughout a full 82-game season.
There's some people who think James the best player in the game still today. I don't even have conversations with those people. I'm good.
Yeah.
Nope.
I see their logic. Now I don't agree, but if it was let me ask it this way: there's one game, just one basketball game. How many players are you taking over LeBron for just one game?
Just one game.
You don't need a season.
Right.
You don't need a playoff series.
Right.
One game.
One player.
How many guys? 39, oldest man in the league. How many guys are you saying definitively I want him more than I want LeBron?
One guy.
I guess Mars, I can say the same thing about and Bird had a bad back. Bird had a bad back.
And I'm sure there were people saying the same thing
in
about Bird. Like, hey,
right,
give me
in
one game of
1991
Bird over anyone. Like,
I'm like, no, I was not taking Bird over Jordan or Magic in 1991 for one game. No, I wasn't doing that.
I mean, to be fair, there was probably people doing the same thing with Jordan when he was on the Wizards. Like, give him one game. Jordan still got it because it's Jordan. Like,
when he was playing baseball, there was probably some people saying, "Hey,
yeah,
give him some time to get in
right,
shape right now."
right.
That's what that was the conversation, Mars. That was
right.
That's what they do. That man ain't play basketball in a year. Hey, give him 3 weeks.
He just got back. he just got back. Wait till the playoffs start. Wait until the playoffs start. Wait till you see how he looks in the playoffs. I'm like, this dude ain't played in a year and a half. Y'all crazy?
But chill, he was the best in the world, though.
Oh my God, this dude ain't played in 18 months. Wait till the playoffs start. You don't think they could beat Orlando? You don't think they could beat them? Like, y'all dudes just wild as hell.
But I can see with LeBron, like if you don't have to worry about fatigue and you don't have to worry about just attrition over the course of a season,
one game.
I can understand saying because when LeBron is fully energized and fully dialed in, you still get very good defense because the effort is there. He's still one of the most smart players in the league.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting to the rim when he wants. This year, for some reason, he decided he can't miss a three. Like that LeBron, I'm sorry, there's not many people I would take over LeBron if you told me I only have one game and I'm guaranteed to get the best of these guys.
But for one game, but for one game, does that put you in the conversation to be the best player in the league?
Oh, to me, absolutely not. But that's their rationale. The people,
right? I'm like,
if Dion was up here, that would be his case for LeBron.
For one,
I'm not taking anyone over LeBron in a series or a game. I understand where they're coming from, but for me, I value the consistency, being able to sustain it over the course of a season and a playoff. That's why LeBron isn't in that conversation for me. But singular game, I can see it. Like, I don't know if I would take him number one, but I can't name a bunch of people I'd rather have over LeBron. I know that.
Yeah.
For one game,
yeah,
man, he really, really good.
Yeah, it was. I think it just goes back to there's points where it's just like the effort's not there, So it's just like one game. I understand. Like, I truly understand it because I just think when the effort is there, he can still be a plus defender. He still makes great decisions. He hits the outside shot. But for a 7-game series or a playoff series where you have to, like last year, they played 3 rounds. I just think there was a few players I would still take over him, for a 2-3 rounds.
Now, if the playoffs or single game elimination.
Yeah, if it was March Madness.
Oh,
who we rocking with? I need to hear from everybody.
Are you taking James or the field in a one-game elimination? Like, we got all the teams in the NBA, not 64. I'm sorry. We got 16 teams, 8 in the East, 8 in the West, and you got one-game elimination. Here's the problem, Mars. Here's the problem, fellas. You still have to consistently do it. It's not like, okay, I got to do it one game and then, okay, we win. No, we got to keep doing it.
Nah, give him a week off between games.
No, Mars.
Yeah, give him a week off. Give him a week off. Let him recuperate. Let him ice. Let him just get in the chamber. Like, let's just cool off, and then we back next week. That's what we're doing.
I'm about to say, I'll do you one up. Let's basically say the playoffs for whatever reason was starting today. They didn't have to play any regular season games. They just did playoffs. I don't know how they would have chose the teams. I still feel like I would still pick somebody like Jokic over LeBron. If we were just talking about they have to win after game after game, even if it's one game elimination, just because I've seen how the Nuggets have done the Lakers. And I don't know, I just feel like Jokic just shows me more consistency, in my opinion. So that's just me picking one person, though. I don't really know how many more I want to go after that.
I mean, if he's number 2 as the oldest player in the league, I mean, that's a good thing. Like, number 2. Right? I'd probably go with you. Yeah, I'm going with Jokic, but like everyone else, nah, give me one game of Giannis too. Right?
Yeah, I'm about to say.
But then there's the chance that he just starts doing foolishness in the half court.
Mm-hmm. and don't get in a tight game, Mars. Boy, that free throw line becomes radioactive.
But Giannis, but Giannis fully energized on defense. We get back to like 2020 on his defense.
Now you say we needed him to hit free throws in the finals. He turned into a different player. We have to be fair. I think Giannis probably will actually this round he becomes a good free throw shooter when you need him to be.
You do understand that he hit them free throws in that finals. That's one game. Okay, we got to keep.
We said what?
Okay,
hey, that's the game we get. That's the game we get.
But it's not just one game. We got to keep doing that. And okay, one game, then another game, then another game in order for us to win. You got to keep doing it. It's not just one game.
Nah, but Giannis fully engaged on defense. Like this past year, I feel like he had too much offensively and the defense was bad. And it's one of his worst defensive seasons. But you're telling me I get Giannis fully engaged on defense? I can live with some of the half-court deficiencies. I ain't gonna lie. I might take Giannis.
I was also told that that Giannis Leonard was a better defender than Giannis too.
Today?
No, in 19.
Oh, no. Okay.
I'm not as high on Kawhi's defense in 2019, but I'm not as high on Giannis' defense in 2019.
The defensive player of the year, Giannis?
No, that was 2020.
Yeah,
19, he wasn't defensive player of the year. I don't know where he finished, but I know he wasn't. I'll check. Let's just see where he finished. 2019, Giannis was second. Who was first? Who won it? Oh, Rudy.
Yeah, Rudy won it in 19.
Yeah. Shout out to Rudy.
Squad.
I didn't even know he came second that year. Shout out to him.
And then 1 year after that.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. Shout out to him. Yeah, I'll take Giannis over Kawhi defensively in 19, but it's closer than if he said it to. Well, Giannis this year. Right? I'm taking Giannis over LeBron single game. That defense is moving me. I don't know how I feel about Luka. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about Luka.
Yeah.
I get a fully healthy Luka. Like the defense in the regular season this year was kind of looking good until he got hurt. Like not good, serviceable until he got hurt. Like you give me one game fully engaged Luka on defense. You're not gonna get elite defense, but you're gonna get something serviceable. And that offense is
crazy. Crazy.
Yeah, I might go Giannis, Luka, and Jokic over Bron single game. I'm probably gonna get called a hater for saying that, but
one thing you got to factor in though, because we're talking about this March Madness style, right?
Yeah.
So it's not just a single game. Who can carry through what it's if it's a round of 16, that's 4 games. Who can win 4 straight games? So it's really who do you think can get hot and sustain that? And even too, let's say in the third game you have an off night. So see, this is why Giannis is so valuable, Giannis and Jokic. Because if you do have an off night, do you have other intangibles that can carry the team too?
Yeah, but you also got to factor in like the versatility. You're going up against different teams, and you don't have time to make your game plan. Like 7-game series, you lose game 1. That was like the LeBron MO. Lose game 1, figure out the team, and then destroy them. You don't have that You don't have that luxury anymore. You got to figure it out game 1. And without like those, I'm not saying LeBron can't adjust on the fly. He's LeBron, but like just in general, I'm thinking like I think you have to be the one that teams would have to adjust to more than you being able to adjust to teams, if that makes sense. Yeah. Like, because you don't have time to adjust. You have to try and force their hand. So, and Giannis is that. Like, there ain't no game plan for Giannis. I'm sorry. Like, they can try that little wall thing. It's not going to work. Like,
I feel like for this conversation, I feel like the best way to like look at something like this, even though this is very hypothetical, you have to find like the last games that every player played, like in a series, like their last game performance. I feel like that'd be the best way to look at it. How do they play when it's, end of the end? Like, I don't know, like a game 6, a game 5 if you're the team down or up, games like that. Like, I feel like that'd be the best way to look at it. Because a lot of players play different.
Go ahead.
No, I was about to say I was done. You can go ahead.
I think Jokic had like 35 in game 7 against the T-Wolves. It's just Aaron Gordon, MPJ, they didn't show up. I think MPJ, Aaron Gordon, and KCP combined for like 14 points. So it was ugly around Jokic and Murray, but Jokic definitely showed up. And that's something like you said, Mars, these are guys that can be schemed against. Jokic can't be schemed against. I personally think 15 assists from Jokic is scarier than 45 points from him. I personally think that. I think Giannis can't be schemed for him. I truly do. I think Jokic.
I'm sorry. I'm just shaking my head because I'm thinking if Jokic got 15 assists, we are in deep trouble.
Yeah. I would rather take 22 and 15 from Jokic than 43 and 5. It makes me more scared when Aaron Gordon's 3 for 5 from the 3-point line. It scares me more when MPJ is 6 for 8 from the 3-point line. That scares me more than them combining for 18 points and Jokic and Murray combining for damn near 70 points. Like that's and that's just stuff you can't scheme against, in my opinion. So for like 3-4 games straight, I would definitely take Jokic, Giannis, Luka. I don't know about Embiid. Don't know about SGA.
I mean, it's only 4. If he can't stay healthy for 4 games, like fully healthy Embiid, and all we got is 4 games to try and make it through.
When's the earliest he's ever gotten injured in the season?
He's always been injured. So
Hey, my God.
sorry, he's always been broken. So there's
we
day
get
one.
Embiid, and all we have is a 4 games at max. I mean, Embiid might be able to do a little something. 4 games of healthy Embiid.
Did he get hurt in the Olympics?
Well, no, he just didn't go into the Olympics fully healthy. But in this imaginary world, you go into it healthy. You just gotta be able to make it through. I would hope he can make it through 4 games. I would hope. I don't know if I would take him over LeBron, but I'd consider him. Those would be like my main guys. Maybe Shea. I'd consider Shea. Yeah, maybe not. Those people my main guys.
Is nobody considering Steph?
I kind of want to put him in there, but I don't know if I've seen Steph just have that many consistent performances in a row.
You rely on the 3 that much. There's too much variance in that for me.
It shouldn't be up and down.
Like he's the best shooter ever, but like
yeah.
I don't know, Mars. You saw
1 for 9 is probable.
You saw what happened in the Olympics.
That's exactly why I'm saying
We had
what,
2
the
games.
first 4 games where he couldn't buy a 3?
We had 2 great games.
Elimination rounds. It was what, 3 games?
We ain't getting to the elimination round, Ron.
Yeah, we not getting
That's
that
the
far.
point.
I just feel if
getting
you rely on a shot, and that's why I'm so high on Jokic and to a lesser extent Embiid. But Giannis, Giannis, because they can just generate efficient shots at will. Steph is the best shooter ever, but anyone who can shoot knows there's just nights where it just ain't falling. That's just like Jokic in this playoffs couldn't buy a 3, but the reason he was still an efficient scorer is because everything inside the 3-point line just seems to be automatic for him, and he could just generate that at will. Steph, if he has a 2 for 11 game, now he's still gonna have the value of his gravity and creating shots for guys. But I don't know if we can live with a 2 for 11 game. And when there's only 4 games, it just puts me a bit lower on him, especially now when he doesn't get to the rim with the same regularity. He's not as quick as he used to be. All of those things. It's just like, I don't know if I can live with a 2 for 11 game, which is more likely from him than anyone else who I've said so far. So, no disrespect to Steph. I just think he's better suited for a series than he is for single game eliminations.
I agree.
Especially now. He's 50.
What about double elimination? Does that change anything?
Ain't no double or damn bit. So if we're doing double elimination round, we might as well just play the season.
Yeah, double what? 2 games?
So that means you can lose 1 game, but you can win. But in order to win, in double elimination, you damn near have to win like 5 in a row, 4 in a row.
Yeah, that was
Sure, that double elimination is like if you lose that first
because now the road is even harder now, Ron. Because not only do I have to win, the team that I lost to, I'm probably gonna have to see them again if they're around. Plus, I'm gonna have to see the better teams also.
Oh no, man! The Warriors have never got out the play-in.
Yeah, I was just about to bring that up. Like,
the Warriors have never got out the play-in. Like, they've been there twice, 3 times. They've never got out. Like
21 by
21. They lost to the Lakers
Grizzlies
and Memphis, and then they lost to.
They've been there twice. They lost
to
the
Lakers.
They lost to the Kings. They lost to the Kings. Well, that was the Klay Thompson open 19 game.
Oh, that is right.
But yeah, they ain't never got out the play-in. So that's a concern.
1 game.
That's a concern. Yeah.
Just want to put it like this: I've never, ever won a double elimination tournament, and I lost on that first day.
That Bron's winning the poll.
Championship is hell.
Nice. Bron's winning the poll. Oldest man in the league. Glaze.
LeBron.
All right, y'all. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Salute to everybody that's in here. Make sure you slap that like button. Make sure you subscribe, and make sure you become a member. And also, it is Hall of Fame Friday. So if you're a Hall of Famer, the link is available for you to come up. We're looking forward to seeing what you guys got to say. We're looking forward to see what you guys got to say about what we got to say. And we're looking forward to just chilling with you being a Hall of Famer. So shout out to those Hall of Famers. Shout out to all of our members, and specifically the Hall of Famers, Dorian Clayton, Cobra Son of Raditz, Multi Kenny, Kendall Daniels, Arch, Jerry Allity, and Hutton Gilgeous or Gilgors. You got it. I got to get you up here, my man. I gotta figure out how to say your name. Gilgors. I think I'm saying it right. But salute to you. You became a Hall of Famer yesterday. I appreciate you for coming through. Let's go ahead and get into the biggest winners of the offseason, part 3. The first team that we are going to start with is the Indiana Pacers. Pacers had an amazing run last season, overachieved in a lot of different ways, but they have a good returning core, and they got some guys that they just brought in. So they lost Doug McDermott, they lost Jalen Smith, they lost Oscar Schwebe. Who they're bringing in is James Wiseman, Cole Swider, Johnny Furphy, Enrique Freemanship, and Tristan Newton. And they also re-signed Obi Toppin. They re-signed their hitman, James Johnson. And then they also re-signed to a big contract, Pascal Siakam. How are we grading the Pacers offseason?
I think they should have let Obi Toppin walk, because I think those minutes could have went to Jarace Walker so he can progress. I mean, I wouldn't say let him walk because of how Obi played, but it's just I think his minutes aren't going to improve as much this season because now you're playing behind Pascal and Obi. But on top of that, I think having a full offseason, getting ready for a healthy Tyrese Halliburton and Pascal Siakam playing together is definitely going to improve the Pacers. I don't know how much is going to show in the standings because I still think there are a few teams that are better than the Pacers, but the offense is still probably going to be top 5 in the league. I think Tyrese Halliburton has the potential to be the best American-born point guard in the league, but I just don't think it's going to show up in the standings. I think they're going to improve. I think their defense can improve, but I just don't think it's going to show up in the standings.
Well, they're 2 rookies. Two of their 3, or all. I think all 3 of their rookies are on 2-way deals, which tells me that they aren't that high on them. So essentially, what they're going off of is they're going off their core guys that they had in Toppin, Naismith. They get Naismith back. They get Nembhard back. They get Mathurin back. So it sounds like that's who they're going off of. And the fact that they were able to get, I'm sorry, see, I had something in my throat. But the fact that they were able to get back Pascal Siakam, that's a good thing, because to lose him after what you traded, that would have been catastrophic for them. But the fact that they were able to bag him, they now have one of the better transition players in the game. And in the Eastern Conference, you definitely need that if you're going to try to speed the game up. So with having him back in the fold, maybe these young guys that they have on these 2-way deals, maybe one of them can blossom into something. I know how big a deal Mars is on Imani Bates. That's how I feel. That's how I feel about the kid. That's how I feel about the kid Enrique Freeman. I think that he's a gem. I think that he's really going to help them. One of the better rebounders that they need. He could be a scorer. He's really raw right now, but I give them a B- because I don't think that they did that much in the offseason, except actually a B+, because the fact that they brought Pascal Siakam back, that was a big deal.
I think there was a point in the first round against the Bucks where maybe like the first 2-3 games where Pascal was the best player on the floor, in my opinion. I truly think he was.
When he was looking like Kevin Durant?
That mid-range was money, wasn't it? What the hell?
I was
like, where the hell that mid-range come from?
He was hooping. Hey.
That mid-range had money.
I may be biased, but I think similar to Orlando, I don't think they got better in terms of additions. I think it's going to be about internal development. That's what I think it's going to be. I think Jarace Walker was someone I was high in coming out of Houston. He didn't play a whole lot his rookie year, which I understand, but he was getting some good reps in the G League, which if you paid any sort of attention, look pretty good over there in terms of like just being able to self-generate his own shot, which is something I didn't see at Houston. So I like that. Good playmaking, Phil moves the ball quick. I feel like he fits perfectly for Indiana. So I hope to see him more this season. I don't know where his minutes are going to come from because, like John D said, Obi Toppin is there, and that's kind of where Jarace Walker would probably fit in. But I don't know where he's going to get his minutes from. But hopefully he finds some. But I don't see it defensively with this team. I don't see it. They got better towards the end of the season with the addition of Pascal and stuff, but I just don't see it. I think Miles Turner is overhyped defensively. I think people think he's a better defender than he is. Tyrese is an egregious defender. Mathurin is someone who wasn't there for them in the playoffs last year, and he's not a good defender. And he's another one who I don't think is as good as people think. But him being there next season will help them. Like, it's better than not having him, I think. And like, everyone knows how I feel about
Nesmith will compete, Mars.
Yeah, Nesmith is cool, but there's only so much impact a wing defender can really have. Nembhard competes.
Nembhard will compete too. I like that.
And like, hopefully James Wiseman develops, man. Like,
come on, James. You need to prove Mars wrong. Mars thinks you're a bum.
Hopefully this is the spot where he can figure it out. But I just don't think this is a good fit defensively. Offensively, if there's anyone who can get James Wiseman easy shots and stuff, Tyrese can in the pick and roll. If he can set better screens, Tyrese can find him. He likes popping a bit too much for my liking for someone who's not as good of a shooter as he seems to think he is, but we can find him on the roll. He can run the floor hard. The Pacers get out and run. James Wiseman is one of the fastest bigs in the league, up and down. I give him credit for that. So, like, there's ways in which he can be effective for them offensively. Defensively, I think this might be the worst situation he could have been in. And he's already horrible defensively. So, hopefully he can figure it out. Hopefully he can get into the rotation and be valuable. I don't know, but this is like a D minus for me. They haven't really done anything, in my opinion.
Rick Carlisle, I would think that considering what Rick Carlisle had in the past, and his teams were much better defensively. I remember when he was in Detroit. I remember when he was in Detroit, and he was in Dallas when they won the NBA championship. He had good defensive teams. Why this team is so bad defensively is beyond me. They're terrible in transition. They're head of attack in Tyrese Halliburton. He doesn't guard. He gets lost on any pick and roll. You can spin him around very easily. I know that's your man, Ron, and I dig him too as a distributor, as a bucket getter. But as a defender, he looks like he's all over the place. There's no foundation with him at all. And I'm trying to make sense in why Rick Carlisle, his team, isn't better defensively. Now, I will tell you this, Mars. I think that just from a schematic standpoint, I can see James Wiseman being a better rebounder for this team. I could see that. I could see him being a better rebounder and keeping the pace and just being a rim runner. He was a rim runner in Golden State. They had guys like Jerome that couldn't see him in transition and wouldn't hit him. That was going on. They still didn't know what they were doing in terms of using him. I feel like with Tyrese Halliburton, he can really blossom in that offense. Just being a rim runner. I ain't talking about running plays for him. I'm not talking about getting him in pick and pop or pick and dive. I'm just talking about just running to the rim. Get the ball off the glass as fast as they play. I think Indiana, I think they played with the fastest pace in the league. I think that could help James Wiseman.
James Wiseman can get up the floor, right?
Yeah, that's one thing he can do. He can run.
He gonna be all right.
He run like a deer.
He gonna be all right. He gonna get, because keep in mind too, he doesn't have to. It's not like we're asking. I think everybody's got rid of his expectations of being a 22 and 12 guy, whatever your expectations were coming into the league. As of now, James Wiseman, we just need you to be serviceable.
He's a long way away from serviceable right now. Based on
so Mars, you don't think off the backup center, you don't think he can give you 7 points and 5 rebounds, 4 rebounds?
I think him doing that doesn't make him serviceable if he's the worst defensive big in the league on a team that's a bad defense. Like, I think offensively, I think this might be the perfect fit for him. Actually, no, because I don't even think it's a perfect fit for them offensively. In the half court, they make so many quick decisions. He can't make quick decisions. I don't think this is a good fit for him. I've lost myself. No, I don't think it's good for him. Hopefully, I'm wrong. I don't think this is a good fit for him at all. But
so this might be his last stop.
No, I hope number 2 pick 4 years ago. I think another team will give him a shot. Maybe it will work in Indiana. Like, I'm not one like, oh, I told you so. If it doesn't work, I hope he figures it out. I don't like seeing draft busts. I feel like it's never good to see someone who had expectations and then never met them in the NBA. So hopefully he figures it out. I just don't think Indiana's a great fit. But maybe that's the only team that offered him something. I don't know. But I don't think Indiana's the best fit for him. So that's disappointing. Also, Rick Carlisle hasn't coached a top 15 defense. He's coached one top 15 defense since 2012.
Since 2011.
And it was 15th in 2017. That's the closest he's got to an above average defense. 15th in 2017 in 12 years. He hasn't coached a good defense in a long time. So there's that. But yeah, I don't think this is a good fit.
Passing him maybe? Because Rick Carlisle is long in the tooth. Maybe the game's passing him.
Well, offensively, he seems to be doing a pretty good job. So I don't know. Maybe he just hasn't been on defensively slanted teams. I don't know. But yeah, I'm D minus. I don't like that offseason in terms of getting better in that department. But hopefully James Wiseman gets it together, man. Hopefully he does become serviceable. I'm
wondering if I'm looking at an Indiana team like Atlanta in 2021, like the Trailblazers in 19, where everybody else got better and they didn't. I wonder if I'm looking if that might be the case. I don't think so, off the strength of bringing back Pascal Siakam, who's still in his prime. I mean, Pascal, 29 years old. You got one of the better lead guards in the game in Tyrese Halliburton. I really love how Nesmith and Nembhard compete on the defensive end. I do think that they could be better defensively. They have to be better defensively, specifically in that division with Milwaukee, right? With Chicago isn't that good, but with Milwaukee, with Cleveland, right? They have to be better defensively if they're gonna make some real noise.
Yeah, chill. The thing about Indiana, the luxury that they had as opposed to a lot of the other big guns in the East, excluding Orlando, is that they had the luxury of their guys just being young and getting better. Like, you guys literally get in the gym this offseason. You guys just get older, and more than likely you're going to get better. Tyrese Halliburton, Nembhard, Nesmith, even younger guys like Isaiah Jackson, Ben Shepherd, even Matherin. He wasn't even there, chill. They made that run without him. So Obi Toppin, he's still relatively younger too. It's like all of these guys, they're young. So
problem with Toppin is he's so bad defensively. Like I haven't seen guys. I'm not gonna say I haven't, but it's glaring when they hunt him. It's not even a question when they go after him, and how a deer in headlights he looks when they hunt him. Like, oh shit, they're coming after me, and there's nothing that I can do. And I would think that he would be a better athlete, not a better athlete, a better defender. But I said this about him being with the Knicks. I just don't think he's that smart. And I think that the situation that he's in Indiana, they dumb down his game where all he has to do is get up and down the floor, run to the long ball line, run to the rim. They don't really run much for him. And they can protect him as much as they possibly can as a defender, but it gets tricky when the playoffs come around because the game slows down and you can't protect them. So we can't use them nearly as much as we'd like to.
All right, y'all. Did everybody give their grade?
Oh yeah,
I'll say like
a C plus.
Yeah, I'll give it like a C minus.
Okay. All right. Moving on to the next team. We have what's going on, Mars? We got Houston Rockets.
A plus.
All right. Well, I guess we don't got to talk about it. We could just
go.
A plus.
I
mean, we all agree, right? A plus.
No, we don't all agree that, Mars.
All right, never mind. Okay,
but we got to dive into it. We got to see exactly what it is that they did and why they did it. So they ended up losing Boban and Reggie Bullock. That's literally it.
That's it.
But they got Reed Shepherd, number 3 pick. They got AJ Griffin.
Love that.
And they got from Oregon, big dude from Oregon.
Nafali
Dante. They got him. Then they got Mars. You know the guy from Australia, Jack McVay.
Yeah, the shooter. He was on the Olympic team. Yeah.
So
and then they re-signed Aaron Holiday.
Keep going, Ron. Keep going. I'm sorry. Keep going.
No, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Are we
gonna
leave out the big fella Steven Adams in the fold now? Are we gonna leave?
We got him last season technically. He didn't play because he was rehabbing the injury.
That's what I'm talking about. But how'd you?
If you want to give us credit for that as
I do give you credit for that. That's via trade. I mean, y'all basically. I mean, Memphis handed him over. Y'all got him for a bucket of extra crispy and a 6-pack. No question about that. So sure, I'll take that. Now, as far as
why we on A plus? Yeah,
I was about to say, Mars. As far as an A plus, damn.
What more did you want us to do?
Okay, so first of all, we don't even know who Reed Shepherd is. You saw him in the summer league, Mars, and you specifically said to me, you don't grade players on the summer league. In fact, you don't even want guys playing in the summer league. So we're not grading Reed Shepherd off what you saw in the summer league. So we don't know who he is yet. So we have an incomplete grade on. Actually, we don't have any grade on Reed Shepherd because the season hasn't started. But he looks really good, right? He does look really good from what we saw. Right? From what we saw. I think Steven Adams is really going to help you guys. The addition of AJ Griffin, even though you got a log jam at the forward spot, right? You got a log jam at the forward spot with him, Cam, let's see, him, Cam. I'm thinking about Jabari Smith. So because you got guys like that, you got a bit of a log jam, but that's a good problem. That's not a bad problem. That's a good problem. And I think you know how exactly to use him. Plus, you could put him at the 2. Maybe his jump shot is improved. I don't know yet. But as far as the rest of your offseason, Mars, the same thing that you said about Indiana is going on with Houston.
Exactly.
You did the same thing. This internal development.
Because we added players who can be valuable. Reach up. Johnny Furphy not going to do much for them this year. Okay. I don't think Enrique Freeman going to be in the rotation for him. Maybe he'll prove me wrong, but I don't know. Tristan Newton, that's the guard out of UConn, right?
Yes.
Well,
yeah.
That lack of an outside shot, I don't know how much he gonna play for them either, because they already got TJ and they got Tyrese. I don't know how much of on-ball reps he gonna get.
Right.
But whereas with our team, we needed a Reed Shepherd. We needed shooting off the bench. Reed Shepherd provides value.
Sure.
That's why I think it's not the same as Indiana. Also, internal development. That's the big thing here. Internal development. Yeah. Jalen Green gonna get better. Sengun gonna get better. Amen Thompson gonna get better. Cam Whitmore gonna get better. And our trade to get the Suns picks was a great trade because we think the Suns aren't going to be good for very long. You know why? Because KD, 39 million years old. Bradley Beal, worst contract in the NBA, arguably. That team isn't going to last very long. And guess who has their picks in the future? Us. Great trades. So maybe not an A+ because we haven't actually made a bunch of moves. Right. But I have to give us at least like a B. I have to give us at least a B. I have to go with B.
Again, Mars, everything that you just said is because of internal development, like you just said about Indiana.
And the Suns trade. And our internal development is easier to see. I know you've seen that. I don't know if you guys seen that video of Jalen Green hooping with Kevin Durant and Chet and Evan Mobley. And
we're going to play that.
I don't know, Ron. He look a little shiftier. He looks a lot. I'm not a big fan of the pickup because I saw Ben Simmons in pickup and I was like, yo, Ben Simmons cracking the 3. Man, I ain't even check his credit. I don't see what kind of girls she hanging out with. I don't know where she lives. Next thing I know, her credit terrible. She got a terrible job, but she looked good though. That's what I got sucked in with Ben Simmons.
Now, Evan Mobley looked good in that run too, Troy.
Yes, he did. Yes, he.
But look at him switching up. Look at him switching up. One of us said, "Oh yeah, he looked good." Look at him.
He did, but I'm not getting sucked in yet, Mars. Even though it looks good, and Jalen Green, he looks a lot shiftier. He does. He look a lot more patient. So I'm gonna hold the phone on Jalen Green. I am. I'm gonna hold the phone on Jalen Green.
That's a big deal. Another year with Ime, I think that's a big deal. Losing Boban, I think like he didn't play, but in terms of locker room presence, I actually do think like that's a big deal. Like those type of players are needed. So like, but still, I'm giving us.
Steven Adams is a likable guy.
I'm going on record. I'm saying,
yeah, but is Steven Adams gonna miss 2 free throws on purpose to give the fans free chicken? I don't know if he's gonna do that.
Yeah,
Boban will do that for us.
That's it. Steven Adams might do that.
I don't know if he'll miss them on purpose. Maybe, but Boban will do that for the people. Boban will do that for the people, man. That's why. Also, just coming back healthy, man. Tyrese gonna be healthy. Amen Thompson gonna be healthy from the start. Yeah, I gotta give us a B, man.
Chill. This sounds like the same. Like if we were just to call them the Indiana Rockets, it would be the same thing.
No, it's not. We didn't add a James Wiseman.
Oh wow!
Yeah, you guys did.
That's a super negative.
You guys added. Yeah, you did.
I think it's a little bit more pressure on the Pacers because they went out and traded for Siakam. So I think there's a higher level of standard for the Pacers than it is for the Rockets. The Rockets are still a team that's like, okay, we have a bunch of young talent. We're still trying to figure out who sticks, who doesn't. We're trying to see what value these guys have that don't stick. We can go get those guys that we can need to actually compete. While the Pacers, they kind of already made that step in trading for Siakam. I think there's a higher standard for the Pacers, especially making it to the playoffs now, having a full season with Siakam and Halliburton. I just think there's a higher standard for them.
That's also a big point. Yeah, we shouldn't be graded on the same thing. That's a conference finals team. We missed the play-in. So
playoff team.
So let's judge us accordingly, please. Thank you. But yeah, B.
Yo, I'm going on record, Ron. I'm saying it. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm going on record.
Saying what?
Houston's gonna be a top 5 seed this season coming up. Jalen Green or Sengun. One of them dudes is making an all-star team.
Bro, I thought I was crazy. I thought
one of them
top
dudes
six.
is making one of them dudes is making an all-star team.
And
I'm here for it.
I don't think it's crazy to think like in a
Houston's
playing game they can beat the Warriors or the Clippers.
Houston's going to be a top 5 seed this year. Sengun, Jalen Green, one of them two dudes is making an all-star team this year.
You guys higher on Houston than me.
I'm extremely.
You know how I feel about Jabari Smith, Mars. You already know how I feel about him. And you know how I feel about Cam Whitmore. And the fact that you now have Adrian Griffin in the fold, who I think Atlanta almost screwed him up. They had no idea what they were doing with him. I think Ime Udoka, I think he sees more of a bigger Naismith in him who can score. That's who he had when he was in Boston. Wasn't really no run for him because they were loaded. In this particular situation, they are loaded, but they all young, so he can find some minutes for him. I love what they're doing in Houston, but it's all internal. I feel like the majority of it, 90% of it, is internal development. There is nothing that they did in the offseason that I'm thinking, okay, this pushes.
We opened our new practice facility. That counts too. B plus.
Yo,
B
all right.
plus.
Mars is being
B
nasty.
plus.
Yo.
Woo, 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 woo. That doesn't mean anything.
So if we're doing that, Mars, just so you know, the Clippers open a new building. The Clippers going to the conference finals this year.
Okay, I ain't saying that's proof that we're gonna do something. I'm saying that's proof that we've had a good offseason. Our new practice facility, we got stay at our facility. We're gonna be working out now. Our old facility was run down and trashed. This one, now that's why you're gonna see the leap from Amen Thompson and Cam and Jalen and Tari. And
because now they can properly develop.
Exactly, because we locked in.
Gotcha.
We're not living in the 90s with our old facilities no more. We in the 2040s.
Out with the old and with the new. Okay.
I know one thing is a fact. I know one thing is a fact, Ron, and my blood pressure about to be up because let the Houston Rockets get off to a slow start. And this dude over here to my right, if he stopped the nonsense about he's jumping ship, I'm gonna climb through the screen and I'm choking him out. I swear I am.
No, hey, first of all, you're the one who said top 5. I'm just hoping.
That's right.
I'm just hoping to make the play-in. So my
Which means I'm
expectations aren't
still
even high.
I'm still on board if they start out
very
slow.
realistic for the Rockets.
Yeah, like
very realistic.
my thing is, I just want to see development. Like,
Right.
I can understand if we don't make the playoffs this year because the West is crazy. Like, I've already accepted we might be better than we were last year, and still not even make the play-in because of how crazy the West is. I can understand that. I just want to see us get better. I want to see Sengun develop. I want to see our schemes get enhanced. I want to see Jalen develop, Jabari develop, Cam develop, Amen develop. I want to see Reed how he looks. If everyone looks good and we ultimately don't make the playoffs, I'm gonna be disappointed. But I'm gonna not be like, yeah, I'm done. Now, if I don't see the development,
Here we go. I'm telling y'all.
We'll see what happens when the time comes, man.
Here we go.
We'll see what happens when the time comes. We'll see what happens when the time comes. We'll see what happens.
Yo, Kendall,
question, Mars. Oh, go ahead.
Kendall, what's going on, my man? How you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling good. Feeling good to be back up here. How y'all feeling?
Yeah,
I'm good.
It's Friday. We got a Hall of Famer up here. We having a good show. We breaking down different teams in their offseason. Kendall, hey, it's a good time on the panel.
It's always a good time on the panel.
So I gotta ask you about the Rockets.
Okay.
And their offseason.
Okay.
How are you feeling about them next year? Can I get a grade from you? And I want to know how you feel about them going into next season.
Well, I feel like they're going to be good going into next season, but I feel like it's hard to give a grade to teams whose whole offseason is just based on development that we haven't seen. So I can't grade something that I haven't seen. So, but I will say, I don't know about top 5, but they'll definitely be in that top 10 and probably in that top 8. So I don't know about top 5 though, but they should be a good team going in. I think they got a lot of guys who are looking at a next step. So they could really they could make some noise, but I just feel like top 5 might be a stretch, but I definitely got them in that top 8.
Kendall, what did you think of Oklahoma City going into last season?
I loved it. I thought Chet was everything they needed.
Even though you didn't see anything from him in the summertime, even though you didn't see
but it's
anything
not
from
though
him
what
going
he
into the season.
But I seen him at Gonzaga and knowing what he could be and what his floor was exactly what they needed.
Sure.
And
absolutely.
I don't think Houston has anybody coming in that is exactly what they need per se. Like Reed Shepherd is good. Reed Shepherd is good, but there's only one. They need more of what Reed Shepherd can offer.
Right.
They need more players like that. They don't have like that many shooters. So I don't feel like he's gonna raise their floor a little bit, but not on the same level Chet did. Chet would have won Rookie of the Year if Wemby wasn't around.
Right.
Like Chet is like a real deal.
And the evidence that you have of Oklahoma City, that's the same evidence you had with Houston last year. The exact same evidence, because they basically brought everybody back.
They did.
So in addition to them bringing everybody back, they were right on the door of the play-in tournament. So now everybody's coming back. They've gotten better. I'm sure that we're not going to see the same play that we've seen in Jabari Smith last year. I'm sure we're not going to see the same play in Cam Whitmore that we've seen last year. And I can go down the line. So with that being said, to be able to grade them off of what you saw last year, not be able to grade them what you saw last year, but be able to grade Oklahoma City, I'm a little confused about that.
It's just, I feel like Chet is a different type of player from Reed Sheppard. Like what they're bringing in, like Reed Sheppard helps a lot, but they need more than just Reed Sheppard. I feel like all OKC needed to get to where they got to was Chet. And then to take that next level to win the championship, I think OKC just took those steps this season.
Right.
I feel
so
like
you saw a 1 seed coming, or you just thought they was going
no,
to
I didn't know. Well, 1 seed is crazy, but I thought I like home court advantage, but I didn't know that they would be this good.
So you thought they went from them going from a play-in team to hosting a playoff series.
Yeah,
this is very, very similar to what's going on. So what is, in your estimation, what does Houston need to push them to that next level? What do you think they're missing?
They just have I feel like if they had another shooter that was about 6'6", 6'8", and like just one more shooter, because they got a lot of 6'8", 6'6" guys, but not a lot of them are like pure shooters. If they just had like another big shooter, I feel like they'll push them over the top. And I'm not saying
Jabari Smith, man. Damn,
I got them like I just don't have them at like 5. There's just so many good teams in the West. Right. And even I know this is basketball, but even the other teams in their division are like good. Like you got San Antonio, you got Dallas. Like there's other teams that they'll play 4 times that are still maybe better to on the same level as them.
Right.
So that's really just what it is. They play in the West. If they play in the East, top 5 for sure, but they just play in the West.
I'll take it.
Houston would kill the East.
Right. It's just who they play. That's all it is.
Y'all dudes is wild with this Eastern Conference logic. Y'all dudes are.
Yo, that
narrative, that East is weak narrative. That shit is old.
I'm not saying it's weak.
I ain't saying you saying it. I just think that
it's
East
top heavy though. I think you can admit it's top heavy.
Oh, 100%. I'll give you like 1 through maybe 4 or 5 tops.
Right.
Yeah. The West
that's legit. I mean, the after 6 tops, it gets a little tricky. Now in the West, you probably got 9, maybe 10 legit teams. I'm not arguing that the East is better than the West. I'm not arguing that. What I am saying, however, is that the East isn't what it used to be. The East is a lot better than what
it's not what it was 10 years
ago. The East is weak. The whole East is weak. That was in 2005, 2006. We ain't doing that no more. No.
Yo, MTL, talk to me about the Houston Rockets. What is their offseason grade?
Honestly, I like to hear that people is hyping up Houston because as somebody who loves the Magic, man, I like seeing like the small teams go through they have like the come up stuff. So I actually think Houston is going in that direction too. 2 years ago, I would not have thought they've gotten to this point, but I'll say now from the moves I've been seeing and stuff, yeah, I would give them like a B+.
Good answer.
All right. Cool. We're going to keep it pushing. If you are watching, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe and become a Hall of Famer like my man in the bottom right corner down there, Kendall Daniels. Hey, Kendall.
What's up?
You from Chicago, right?
Of course.
Yes, sir.
You actually rep Chicago, unlike some people.
Always.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Always.
Nah, well, the reason why I'm asking that is because, Chicago's the next team we're gonna do.
Oh.
Or can you not want to do Chicago? If you don't want to do Chicago,
we can do Chicago.
Why would I be
scared? This ain't as bad.
No, yeah, we gonna do Chicago.
This ain't as bad as you think.
I'm not delusional. Like I know
ain't as bad as you think it is.
I know what's going on. Look, my thing for them is going into the season, I want us to lose, and I want us to get that number 1 pick so we can have some white boy summers in Chicago. We could get the white boy tandem going on. We can get Kuta and Modest, and then we're really cooking something now.
You saw that 1v1?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're gonna get the Beach Boy summer going on.
Okay.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Okay.
But I would give them a C for their grade though, a C.
Okay, so I'm gonna dive in and let you guys know who left Chicago and who came in and who got re-signed. So obviously, as you guys know, DeMar DeRozan out the door to Sacramento, Alex Caruso out the door to Oklahoma City, Andre Drummond out the door to Philadelphia. You guys also lost Javonte Green, but you brought in Jalen Smith. You brought in Josh Giddey. You brought in Chris Duarte. You brought in Kenny Lofton. You brought in DJ Stewart from the G League.
When they get Kenny Lofton?
This offseason.
On a guarantee or like a two-way song?
Yeah, it looks like a 1 year, $2 million deal.
Oh, shout to Kenny. Shout out to Kenny. Yeah.
Facts.
He's gonna be one of them dudes. He's gonna be one of them dudes, Mars, when his career over. He's gonna be one of them dudes that played like 11, 12 years. You're gonna be like, damn, this dude stuck around that long. Yeah, he's gonna be one of them dudes.
Kenny, man. I'm happy
watched,
for him.
man. Hey, Kenny, nice.
Mm-hmm.
But also drafted Matas Brazelis, and then drafted Marcus Domask from Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
And then you guys re-signed Patrick Williams as well.
A. No.
A.
B plus. Yeah, because you finally picked a direction. You finally committed to the tank.
That's where I'm.
I still feel like they halfway did it though. I kind of feel like they halfway.
Yeah, that's why I came off A, because Vucevic is still there.
And Levine, I know that's hard to get off of them, but
they're trying with Levine. I have to.
They are
trying.
I think they're trying with Vooch too.
I
really think
they extended him. I don't know what they would.
Right.
That doesn't.
That's why I had to change my A. I'll give them a B. Because they've picked a direction.
I think that
they just haven't fully. If they can get off Vucevic and Levine before the season, I'll give them an A. Not because they got better, but because they finally committed to doing something. Like
that's why I'm giving them a C. I just feel like they have did it, and I'm not a fan of. Like I don't love what we got for Caruso. I don't know what else they could have got, but I mean I don't love that. I mean, if anything, like I just feel like they could have went in a different direction and maybe try to blow this up mid-season instead of waiting to the end.
When they could have got picks for Caruso?
Or blew this up, or man, just got off Levine sooner or something. Like we knew this was gonna work. And we still got Lonzo coming back. That's another thing. That's like how much time is he gonna play? Because now we got Io and we got Kobe White.
Enough to move him by the trade deadline.
I hope so. I wish the best for him, but he can't stay here.
Enough.
No, chill on my guy Lonzo.
I love Lonzo, but that's not the direction we going.
You're right. He needs to be in a better situation. I can go with that. But they also got this. They also got one of the steals of the draft. Yeah, Matas at 11 is crazy. Like I gotta give him credit for that.
But what's going to be his role? What's going to be his role with Levine, with Vucevic, with Lonzo coming back? Like I don't know. And the Bulls are a terrible place for development. So it's just I'm scared for him. I know he could be great, but it's not like we have good development, and they still got all these guys who command shots on the roster.
I hope Levine isn't actually planning on playing basketball for the Bulls this year. Like, I hope it's like a John Wall situation where they just don't play it. That's what I'm hoping for.
He's too young for that, though.
John Wall was like, I want to say 30 when they did that to him.
Yeah, but he was like digressing though. He was going the other way, or regressing. Yeah, he was going the other way. Levine is still like what? He's 27,
29.
I think Levine's in a situation where
he's 29.
He has to show some worth because people are. It's a bad rep around Zach LaVine right now. That contract on top of him not being available last season, I think he has to show some type of value because I think Zach LaVine can still be a positive on a contending team, but it's just hard to move that contract. I mean, the Golden State Warriors didn't even want to give up CP3 or Andrew Wiggins to go get Zach LaVine. So
because it's like 3 years. That's the problem.
Yeah, that contract.
You can't even buy that out. You're gonna be paying him until 2046.
But if I'm Chicago, I'm like, look, if you want Alex Caruso, you got to take Zach LaVine. One comes with the other. That's how I would look at it.
I promise. If I'm because no contenders paying Zach LaVine 43 million.
No,
and then 46 million. And then 49 million. Like that's a hard contract to move.
He's staying there then. Really he's just gonna play out the rest of his contract with the Bulls. And they gotta play him. You can't pay him that money and not play him.
C minus. C minus.
I was waiting on you to.
And then what's the motion around Ayo Dosunmu? Because I think he was amazing with the Bulls as a starter.
He need to play.
Like 18 points per game. And now you bring in Josh Giddey, who's going to be the lead guard. And I think Kobe White's going to start next to him. And then you still have Zach LaVine. So it's a log jam in the backcourt to where.
Right.
It is a log jam for sure.
Lonzo too. I mean.
That's what I'm saying. C.
D plus.
Hey, I might want to stop talking. You're going to keep going down.
You think about it. It's like, bro, like. They chose their direction, but did they really? Because I still don't think this is one of like the worst teams in the Eastern Conference. Right. And then when you look at the 9th and 10th seed in the Eastern Conference, it's wide open. it's wide open, and the Bulls are still under the impression that we can still make a play-in with the squad we got.
D-.
They're still under that impression. So
and they sell out every game.
I'm being convinced. This might be an F.
And they sell out every
minus.
game. They're gonna want to win.
Any
Chill. They're
picks
gonna
back
want that
for
play in.
Cruz,
They
though.
sell out every game.
They're gonna be
exactly like Chicago be packed. It be packed to go see Nikola Vucevic minutes. It be packed. So it's like they looking at this team like we selling tickets. People are sitting down to come see Kobe White and Nikola Vucevic pick and rolls. So let's keep the squad together. They not doing.
You do understand that just so you know, the Knicks lost 50 straight games for 5 straight years. They was in the top 10 in the league in attendance. So the fact that you pack in the seats, that doesn't mean anything. I'll start there. Number 2, Kendall, you talked about development. When did you have a team this young? So if we go back to when you had Derrick Rose and the tennis dude, his father, defensive player of the year. Who am I thinking about? Joakim Noah. When you had him and you had buckets, right? And you had that team developing. Then you move that from not too long ago when you basically scrapped it all and you was in a win now mode when you got Lonzo in free agency and you had Zach LaVine, and you had the guy that's in Sacramento now, the mid-range merchant. So you weren't really developing anybody. You were trying to win, right? You were trying to win right now. Now you're in a space where you have to develop these guys. So do we know what that looks like? I think that you move off of Vooch before this season is over. So whatever the plan is, like you talking about, like they're in win mode. No, they're not. They're going to scrap this thing. I'm not sure Billy Donovan is even going to be the head coach by the end of the season. I can see this thing getting scrapped. And you're going to build it around Kobe White, Josh Giddey, and his kid Mateus. You're going to build it around these guys. And just like Brooklyn, it's going to look good early and you're going to be competitive, but eventually you will be in the Cooper Flag sweepstakes. 100% you're going to be in the Cooper Flag sweepstakes. And that's going to be your core of guys. Because those other guys you talk about with Ayo and Pat Williams, those guys are interior dirty work guys. Your core guys, them 3 guys that I talk about, plus getting in the Cooper Flag sweepstakes, that's the plan moving forward. I don't think that they did a bad job. They just got to complete it. Get off of Vooch, get Vooch up out of here, and actually really have a developmental plan. Because I don't see them. I don't really see them dudes competing at all in the East.
Can I give you the guys I think they failed to develop? Markkanen, Wendell Carter, Patrick Williams.
Injuries.
Injuries screwed
Injuries, but even when he's playing, you don't get the flashes that you thought. Like he's still with the injuries, he's not where he should be. They were calling him Baby Kawhi. He's not anything like that.
How much do you blame Jim Boylan then?
That's where I was going with that. I feel like because the guys he was naming that were developed under Thibodeau. Once Thibodeau was gone, the development was gone.
Right.
Like we weren't getting those guys like that.
And you didn't have Boylan for long. How long did you have Boylan?
Too long.
Too long. Enough to ruin Lauri Markkanen, who's an all-star now. Like even guys like we sent Nikola Mirotic back overseas. Like we had him. We had Bobby Portis. Denzel Valentine was a lottery pick.
Bobby Portis.
No. I'm not blaming the Bulls for Denzel Valentine.
You don't have to. Okay, what about we got Dalen Terry? We just drafted him a few years ago.
He needs to learn to shoot. I don't know if the Bulls are the best.
We're not developing.
Yeah, I don't know if the Bulls the best place.
I did hear. In your defense, Kendall, I did hear that the Bulls just hired, like in the last 2 years, they just hired a shooting coach. Like y'all didn't have a shooting coach over the last 2 years. That's nuts to me.
And then the guys we got
a shooting coach. I'm like, what the hell?
Chill. I don't actually believe that. I think that's just
that's true, Ron. That's true.
It's no way, bro.
They're an incompetent franchise. Believe it, man.
It's just no way.
That's true.
Believe in their incompetence, man.
It's a hard city, man. It's hard out here. They ain't giving out jobs like that. But
we don't need a shooting coach. You're a pro. Just figure it out.
Figure out the ball. Just get some shots up. That's it.
Get these dudes up.
And some of the young guys that we got that are good, they came in and were like Kobe White was a top player in the country when he was drafted. Io was a top player in the country. He just played on Illinois. So a lot of these guys were very good players.
Y'all stole him in the draft too, by the
way.
We did. Stole him.
He was one of the number 1 point guards in the nation. So seeing his development does not surprise me. That doesn't surprise me. That's a first team All-American. The guys that we needed to develop are undeveloped, or they're in Orlando, or they're in Utah, and they just doing good, thriving.
Hey, I know this is completely off subject, but I appreciate y'all boys. I really do. For everything y'all did for us between Franz, Wendell.
Oh, wow.
I really appreciate y'all so much, man. We would not be here if it wasn't for
You know,
y'all.
bro, you such a good dude that if I ever see you, I'm taking something back in return.
I was about to say,
I'll take some back in return.
he sound like you, but he sound like you just bought him groceries. That's what he sound like. Like,
that's
yo,
okay.
man,
that's okay, Chill. I'm coming to get my bread back.
That's what it sounds like.
That's okay. I've been to Orlando before,
like,
brother.
Yo, my man, I appreciate this, yo. This is big time that you just put $200 on my grocery bill. Thank you.
Laugh now.
Hopefully,
They're gonna be laughing for a while. I ain't gonna lie, but
That's all right.
I need
That's
more
all right.
grades from the Bulls. Who has not given us their grade for the Bulls? I know Mars started at an A, and he's down in the gutter right now with the Bulls. How do you other guys
D
feel?
minus,
C minus,
D minus.
D minus.
Solid.
Yeah,
That's solid.
solid.
I give him
MTL, you gave your grade?
Yeah, I'm at a C minus. I
C
think.
minus?
Yeah, I just feel like until they find a way to come off of Zach and Vooch, honestly, yeah, they honestly would have been an A for me if they can get off of them. But until then, no, they got hold to C.
Okay, Chill.
That's what I'm giving them an incomplete because I think they are coming off Vooch and I think they are coming off of Zach LaVine before the season's over. Those guys are out. They're gonna actually have a foundation. So I'm giving them an incomplete right now.
Okay.
that's code for an F. But it's cool.
All right, yo, Kendall, appreciate you for coming up and kicking it with us for a little bit.
Yes, sir.
Hope to get you on in another Friday sooner than later.
Gotcha.
On the way out, is there anything that you need to say?
You are very nasty, Ron, for Chris Potter, Rondo and Steve Nash stuff, Ron. That was gross.
Disgusting.
That was gross. That was a terrible way to start my day. I meant to tell you that when I came up here. That was very, very nasty.
So look, I will say this. I'll come off the Rondo Luka thing. I shouldn't even got myself involved in that mess. I was still spiraling. I was still spiraling from some things that happened last night. But the Rondo in Nash,
You
I
gonna
don't take
stand on that?
anything back. I'm what?
You
Doubling,
standing on that,
tripling
Ron?
down on that. Yes.
I like
Right.
that.
I
Stand
bet
on
you
business,
is.
Ron.
He gonna sink in that business.
Yeah, I hope he clipped it.
He's standing
I
in quicksand.
I expect to see
He's
it on
standing in
TikTok.
quicksand.
I expect to see it on TikTok.
I'll see this on shorts later.
Yeah, I better see this on TikTok.
If you didn't clip it, clip this. Rondo over Steve Nash any day of the week, twice on Mondays, not Sundays, Mondays. And on Friday, we partying all night with Rondo in the number 9 jersey. I'm rocking with Rondo.
All right, you do that.
Yeah, have fun. Yeah. I'll see you.
As a Bulls fan, you should know.
Yeah, as a Bulls fan, I'm not biased and I'm not nasty. Like I know Steve Nash is better. Like I'm just confused on I was watching the whole thing. You were talking and saying words, they just were not making sense. Like,
It wasn't really hidden.
no, I just couldn't understand why you were just trying to Rondo over Steve Nash. I just couldn't. I don't know.
Yeah, you was just trying basically.
Yeah.
Y'all just undervalue Rondo
Okay.
and overvalue Nash.
Okay.
And that's it. But
Right.
all right, Kendall, appreciate you for coming through. We're gonna catch you soon, my man.
All right, brother. Y'all be smooth.
Yes,
All
sir.
All right.
Later.
All right, the next team we are going to do is the Atlanta Hawks.
But it's a hard one.
As we know, they lost to DeJounte Murray. Wesley Matthews is still a free agent, but it doesn't look like he's re-signing. So as of now, they've lost him. They lost Sadiq Bey. They lost AJ Griffin. They lost Bruno Fernando. They lost Dylan Windler. But they re-signed Vit. How you say his last name? Vit.
Krejci, I think.
Oh yeah, that guy.
That tool guard, yeah.
Yeah.
He had a pretty good season last year too. So shout out Vit. But they re-signed him. They drafted Zachary Richeshear with the number 1 overall pick.
All right.
Larry Nance Jr., they acquired him. They also got Dyson Daniels and Cody Zeller, all 3 of them from New Orleans. They got David Roddy. And then they also got Dominique Barlow. How
Ron,
are we feeling?
What's the plan? I'm sorry, guys, because every time I talk about Atlanta, I feel like I'm talking about like a chick who thinks she fly, but she's so whack. Like, what's the plan in Atlanta? Like, what exactly is it that they're doing there? Okay, you got your lead guard, right? You do have that, and now you got this wing in Johnson, who's a ridiculous athlete. Okay, I get that. I don't. What's the plan with Capella? What are we doing here?
We need to move him.
They're trying to pack him up. Hopefully, that's what they're trying to do. But
I'm calling New Orleans. I'm calling LA. I'm calling somebody. I think
it's the last year of his deal, so he should be movable.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to make sense of is what is the plan in Atlanta, right? Because we talked about Indiana. I see what the vision is in Indiana with the Chicago Bulls. I see that they're starting over. I see that that's the plan. That's why they're going to get off Vooch. That's why they're going to get off Zach LaVine. That's the plan. I see what they're doing in Oklahoma City because they've developed into a championship level team. What exactly is the plan in Atlanta? What are you guys doing? Who are we building this team?
Yeah, they don't have their first round picks. Like I think they're trying to win or at least make it to 7th, 8th seed in the East. They don't have their picks, so I don't think they can really like, okay, let's bite the bullet and let's be a bad team, but they don't have their picks. And I don't know. I think they're really banking on this jump from Jalen Johnson. I don't know what they really expect from Zachary Reese-Sachet. I don't expect much from him in his rookie season, but I definitely think they're trying to compete because they don't have their picks. And it's like they're extremely I think getting the first pick in the draft this year was kind of unlucky in my opinion, because out of 23 and 25, getting the first pick in the draft in this draft is not nearly as valuable of how it's going to be in 25 or 23, just going off projections. But this team doesn't have their picks. They're going to try and push Jalen Johnson as the number 2 next to Trae Young. Trae Young, in my opinion, is still a top 6, top 7 point guard in the league. So they're definitely going to try and make a play in.
I think the plan is obviously defense around Trae Young. That's the plan. Like so them having DeAndre Hunter, who I think has been just a disappointment in terms of injuries and progression and all of those things. But one thing he can do is guard at the point of attack. That's one thing he can do. Onyeka Okongwu is someone who, although undersized, does provide value at the 5. Now, for the Hawks, I think they probably do need a legitimate big who's not Clint Capella. But them having Trae, DeAndre, Zachary, Jalen Johnson, Dyson Daniels, Onyeka, Kobe Buffkin actually showed that he was a pretty solid defender as a rookie before he got hurt. Like, they're trying to put defenders around Trae and just hope Trae can elevate the offense alongside Jalen Johnson to a high enough level to where they can compete. They can't lose because the Spurs have their pick. So they have no choice but to try and win. So they're in that situation where the best case scenario for them is a 7 seed and they win the play-in and then lose in round 1. So I think this is probably, in my opinion, since 2021, this is the best team they probably had. And this ain't a good team, but this is the best they probably had in terms of just actually building correctly around Trae in terms of length and defense and versatility and having guys who are like play finishers and stuff. I think this is the best team they've had. I don't think it means they're going to do much, but I think the Reese-Sachet pick makes sense for them in terms of a shooter, rangy athlete, 6'10", size. That makes sense. Jalen Johnson, I think, is going to take another jump in terms of just his role, staying healthy, being another ball handler. Kobe Buffkin is someone I expect to see more. DeAndre Hunter, I just hope can be a good 3-and-D guy. They still got Bogdanovic who can score. I'm high on Dyson Daniels. I think they're a capable team. This might be the closest they'll get to like a top 12-ish defense. This might be the closest they ever get. And then Trae Young is like a walking top 10 offense if you just give him enough minutes. So like I think this is the best they've been. So I'm gonna give them like a B+. But that doesn't mean I think they're gonna do anything. I just think this is the best they could have done considering the situation they already were in from previous off seasons. So
would they have the stones to move off a Trae and just start over?
They need to.
The only way that would work is if they did that with a trade with the Spurs who have that pick.
Yeah.
Otherwise, them tanking just benefits the Spurs. The only team they could trade to is the Spurs. That's it.
Am I wrong for thinking that they should have like traded Trae and then kept DeJounte? I feel like when I watched Hawks games last year, when Trae was hurt and DeJounte, they looked so much better to me. I mean, significantly better to me. Like I don't know what it was.
I have no comment.
I don't think they would have been in a better situation. I mean, they could have gotten more back from Trey, but how significant is that if they're not really going to be bad enough to have a top pick, even without their pick, and then they're not going to be good enough to be like a lock play-in team, in my opinion, or like a lock 6th through 8th seed. So I don't know. I think it's tough to say, but I definitely think Trey is the overall better player, and you could have definitely got more value for Trae Young, but I still don't think that puts you in a better situation than trading DeJounte.
I also think they overvalued him too, because I mean, I think that there were more suitors than San Antonio, but for what they probably asked for was astronomical for Trae. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you got a 27 and 11 guy. You ain't handing them over for a bucket of extra crispy and a 6-pack. All right, I get that part. But you're also not going to get back what you think you should. Most of the time when stars get traded, you're going to get less than. But in the situation that Atlanta's in, what do they need? They need their draft picks back, very much like what Brooklyn did. They need their draft picks back. So if we can move off of a guy like Trae Young, we can get some of our draft picks back. And who are we moving Trae Young to? Well, we ain't moving him to a playoff team. And the reason why we ain't moving him to a playoff team, because those late first-round picks don't help us at all. We need to move him to a team that's bad. That way they can build, like Brooklyn, for example. They can build off of Trae Young, plus they can hand us over some of those first-round picks that they had.
I don't know why you guys are even considering coming off Trae Young.
I'm not.
I think
I am.
I think Trae Young he's in a good situation, and the Hawks are in a good situation. You have one of the premier guards in the NBA. You know what he's going to give you on the offensive end. Now, we know he does have deficiencies as well, but I'm saying he's only 25 years old.
Right.
And now you got younger pieces like Jalen Johnson around him, who is a perfect running mate with Trae Young. Mm-hmm. You just brought in Dyson Daniels. He's somebody who could slot in at the 2 and actually, believe it or not, is a perfect guy to slot next to him just because of his ability to play defense, his ability to run the floor. Now, he does have some deficiencies he needs to work on too, but once again, a young guy. Now you bring in the number 1 overall pick, a 3-and-D guy. Once again, that is almost perfect for Trae Young. You got a guy that can not only defend and run the floor, but he can space the floor too. He's not going to get in Trae Young's way. And for all we know, he was the number 1 overall pick. The sky's the limit for this dude.
That's not how that works.
That's not how that works.
That is not. You the number 1 pick. I guess you could be Michael Jordan. Like,
no. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is he does have a ceiling that he can hit. I'm not saying that his ceiling is up here, but I'm saying he was the number 1 overall pick for a reason.
He would be like the number 9 pick in last year's draft.
But you understand what I'm saying? He has potential that can be tapped.
Yes, he has potential.
He can become more than a 3-and-D guy. So in the perfect world, if they do, what I'm saying is they have pieces next to Trae, and Trae's still a young guy too that is developing. So I'm with you, Mars, in terms of I'm giving him a B because they have picked the direction. Came off DeJounte, they got Dyson, they got now we've seen the development of Jalen Johnson, and they got the number 1 overall pick.
Ron, if this team ends up in the play-in tournament again, I'm gonna lose my mind. Because I'm
That's probably where they're gonna.
Yeah, I'm about to say chill.
This is where this is year what 5 since 2020, in the middle of 20 with the exception of 2021. Where have they been? 9th seed, 12th seed, 10th seed, 11th seed. This is who they are. What are we doing in Atlanta? And it's all predicated on how they're developing this young group.
I think they just made bad moves previously, and now they're trying to rectify it. That's what I think this is. I think this is the closest this is the best offseason they've had, in my opinion, in terms of actually going with a direction that makes sense around your 2 franchise guys. Quinn Snyder's a great coach, especially offensively. He's a great coach.
Yeah, I like Quinn Snyder.
But like DeJounte just didn't make sense. And like there's a reason Trae and DeJounte on the court together just didn't work. It's fit, defense, playing off the ball isn't his strength. Like there's a bunch of things. It just didn't make sense. It was a bad move when they did it. It was a bad move in practice, and it's a good thing that they got off of it. Like I think they're just rectifying past mistakes. They haven't been good for the last 3 years, but like now I still don't think they're going to be great, but I think they're actually finally going in a direction that gives them the best chance of success in the future. That doesn't mean they're going to win a championship, but this is 2 years from now, 3 years from now. Can I see them being maybe a 6 seed? Yes. With DeJounte, I never saw that happen. I didn't think that was possible. So, like, I think they've improved. You might not see it right away, but I think they've improved. So, yeah, B.
Yeah, it's the younger guys for me. Once again, I'm gonna keep harping on their number 1 overall pick and then Dyson Daniels. I think the pickup of those two, chill. You might as well just get over it. They are going to be a playing team this year. But for me, it's 2 or 3 years from now with these guys developing in playing situations. Maybe next year they make the playoffs. Okay, you let these guys develop in the postseason, and then that next year potentially they could be contenders. Potentially,
no. Yeah, the sky's the limit. The sky's the limit. Yeah, sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. Yeah, sky's the limit.
Zachary Reese-Shea gonna have KD rookie.
That's what really
here for it happens.
That's
I'm here for that too.
I mean, yeah, if he looks great, then hey, I mean, maybe the Hawks will make a bounce back, but I'm not high on him. I'm not gonna lie, but maybe it'll surprise me. I don't know.
The thing about it is, I'm assuming he's gonna get playing time right away. In a lot of it.
Yeah, sure.
I'm assuming he might not start because they still do have DeAndre Hunter as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but DeAndre just doesn't stay healthy. So
yeah, I was gonna say I don't think Zachary Reese-Shea is gonna go the whole season without starting. I think there's a chance that maybe by a little bit past the All-Star break he could be a starter.
Also, again, Sadiq Bey was good too.
Well, he had a bum knee, Mars. He tore his knee up, so they had to get off of him.
Right? Yeah, that was good. Good. Hopefully, he recovers.
I think he's in Detroit, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's in. I think it's Washington.
Washington. I'm sorry. I know it was a bad team.
Yeah. Hopefully he recovers, but he was not good even when he was playing for them. So hopefully, I think that B. Yeah, B. That's what I'm standing on B.
All right. C. MTL?
I'll go B.
Hey, how about Ron? How about a weed smoker in the chat talking about my breath stink? A weed smoker in the chat talking about my breath stink. You fat lip ass peasy head nigga talking about my breath stink. Get the hell out of here. I'm sorry.
W crash out, man.
What the hell?
Imagine that, chill.
A weed smoker talking about my breath stink. Shut your ass up. And Ron, I give him a C.
Okay.
Get out of here.
All right. We are going to slide up to the Northeast and pull up on the NBA champions up in Boston and grade their offseason. Now, they didn't really lose much. They lost O'Shea Brissett and Mekhi Luke. They brought in Lonnie Walker, Jay Scrubb, Ron Harper Jr., Anton Watson from Gonzaga. They drafted him. And Tristan from Cleveland State. I can't pronounce his last name.
What about Baylor Shireman? They got Baylor Shireman too.
They did get Baylor. Yep. And then they re-signed Luke Cornett, Xavier Tillman, Keita, J.D. Davison, and they extended Jason Tatum and Derek White. How are we feeling about the Boston Celtics offseason?
A+.
Yes, they brought back the whole crew.
A+.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's not much to say.
Mm-hmm.
They won a championship and they kept the team together to win a championship.
That's
the least you can ask for.
Yeah.
Yeah, and especially with the new cap rules, I think it's a lot more. What's the word I'm looking for? I think it's a lot harder for teams to bring back some of their key players after winning a championship. I mean, we saw with the Nuggets after losing Bruce Brown and KCP that it's not as easy as it once was to just re-sign your guys after winning the championship. And to bring back Derek White, extend Jason Tatum, Luke Cornett, Xavier Tillman, all guys who had important roles on this team, I think that's a W. I definitely think that's a W. And this is a team that was head and shoulders above the rest of the league, and now they're running it back. And some teams got worse, some teams got better, but I still would say the Boston Celtics are the best team in the league going into the season. So I would call it a W.
How many teams? I'm just thinking about over the like just say the last 10 years. How many championship teams have brought the whole crew back? Everybody. How many teams have done that? If you think about all the teams that just I'm not even going back 30 or 40 years, right? I'm just going back. I'm just going back just 10 years since the 13-14 season. That was the year that San Antonio won it. How many teams have brought back the entire crew? Everybody comes back and we run it back.
I think the Golden State, after they won in 14-15, they brought the same roster.
That was a team. I was gonna say. Well, David Lee wasn't. David Lee wasn't there in
which
16,
crew?
So the 15 Warriors.
The 15 Warriors.
And so they ended in 13-14 and 14-15 they bring the whole crew back. Is that correct?
In 15-16 they bring the whole crew.
They bring the whole crew back.
Yeah, they go 7-9.
Right.
And
so they bring the whole crew back.
Who else? Did the Bucks bring back everybody after they won in 21, or did they lose somebody?
PJ wasn't there the next year.
Yeah.
They lost PJ. Okay. So the idea that they brought the whole crew back, the reason why I'm saying that is because I think that they're going off the strength of we won it with this right here, and we're still young. It's not like we're long in the tooth with anybody. In fact, our core guys, with the exception of Al Horford, are in their prime. So with that being said, beat us. I think it's A+.
How concerned are you guys that KP's going to miss half the season?
I'm concerned for Al Horford having to play so much at 56 years old. But as long as he's there for the playoffs, they're better than they were last year. So
and they won in the playoffs without him. That means he only played 4 games.
Yeah.
I don't know if they can do that again, though. If the East is healthy, then they're going to need KP.
They definitely.
I think they're going to get him, too.
Hopefully. I want to see KP because he was hooping before.
I'm like, look, KP, take your time. Take all the time you need, man. We good. We can hold down the fort. You take all the time you need so we can get every single game we can out you come April, come May.
That injury was such a freak injury anyways. It was one of those injuries that's just like, it's different if you like tore his ACL, tore his MCL, then you're like, you have an idea how that affects play. This one is like, most people don't even know what it is. So it's like, is he just going to come as soon as is that surgery's done? Is he going to come back and be good? We don't really know. But I feel like as long as he's ready for the playoffs, I think that's what matters the most. But they can't do a load management thing because you need that impact on your body again. You have to have that wear and tear, put your body through that wear and tear in order to perform right. You see it all the time with athletes who kind of rest up until a certain point. There's always that small injury that will happen because your body's not used to it. Practice speed, practice pace, anything that does not emulate properly game pace. And you can't really get game pace unless you play a game. So
I never heard of a retinaculum until he did whatever he did to it. So shout out to KP. It enlightened me to parts of the body I didn't know that existed. So I appreciate him for that.
Yo, Multi-Kenny, what's good?
Hey, I'm great. I had a great night last night. Started the cross country season, and both our girls and boys look great. So I'm on a high right now.
Nice.
Okay. You a cross country coach?
Yep, cross country and track. Yeah,
that's what's up.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
Okay, that's cool. Hey man, hope you guys thrive this year.
Same here.
I need my job, yo. We can't suck. We cannot suck. I need to keep my job.
Yep, absolutely.
Do we need to speak on the Boston Celtics anymore, or is this kind of?
No, this could have been even shorter.
Yeah.
Good. I think we're good.
All right. Well, we'll keep it moving. We go from a spectacular situation to not the best situation. The Brooklyn Nets.
I think this is another team we won't have to spend much time on because they picked their path. You know, you get off Mikal Bridges, which a lot of people after the trade deadline thought just wasn't going to happen. After they got offers with multiple first-round picks, and they were like, "No, we want to build around Mikal." And then you go into the offseason, you get 5 first-round picks from the Knicks, and then you get your 25 and 26 pick back from the Rockets, and now you have that path to where the fans could be excited for something in the future. So I think that's really big, especially looking in the Brooklyn Nets situation where I thought they were one of the worst situations in the league. So, I'm high on their offseason.
A+.
Yeah, this is the actual A+, not the Chicago. I'm so glad y'all got off that Chicago thing. I'm so glad y'all got off that Chicago.
I was
thing.
bugging on that one. Yeah. My fault.
Yeah, these are some of the players that they lost. They lost Dennis Smith, which he's actually just an unrestricted free agent. So who knows? He may end up back. But as of right now, they've lost Dennis Smith. Mikal Bridges is gone, obviously. They lost Bates Diop and they lost Lonnie Walker. Who they brought in or who they acquired? Bojan Bogdanovic, Zaire Williams, Shake Milton, Killian Hayes, and then they re-signed Nick Claxton, Trenton Watford, and Keon Johnson.
I didn't even know they got Zaire Williams.
I'm telling y'all,
they've fully committed to win one game.
I'm telling you, Brooklyn, this is gonna look. I'm telling you, Mars, you are the one, right? This you, Mars. You talk about the Ben Simmons resurgence. You might see it early. And this is why Brooklyn is gonna trick some people because Ben Simmons is gonna come out. They got Claxton. He's gonna look real good early. They might even start the season out like 5-3. Brooklyn's trying to win some games.
They're gonna be
Brooklyn is serious. They try to win some games.
They end the season 6-76.
Garbage, trash.
By like the last 10, 15 games of the season, it's gonna be like by the last 10, 15 games of the season, it's gonna be starting offensive lineman numbers on the court. It's gonna be a number 71 on the court, a number 39.
Who is this dude?
It's gonna get ugly. It's gonna get ugly.
Garbage, trash. Get out of here.
So
They still got an A+.
We all believe that this is the worst team in the NBA?
Yes. I think so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Okay. But Mars, you're giving them an 8 for their offseason?
Absolutely. They got that pick. They got most of their picks back. We still have 2027. But like they got their picks back. They got a bunch of picks from the Knicks. They got off players who were too good to help them lose, but were too bad to help them win. They finally committed into a direction, which was the right direction, trying to build a team through the draft. They've done everything they needed. And to make it even better, they fully committed to the tank in ways I haven't seen since the Sixers. Killian Hayes is like, we are destined to not win. Like that. And who knows? He might average like 14.
Yeah.
Killian Hayes buckets, like,
there's going to be some
A+.
conversations.
A+. If I see Killian Hayes average 14 on 39% shooting, I'm here for it.
You'll get that Brooklyn Nets Killian Hayes jersey, Mars?
Possibly. Shout out to Jordy Fernandez, first ever coaching job. He's just got to coach the worst team in NBA history. I mean, shout out to him.
Quick question. What would y'all see? What would y'all think of as improvement for Cam Thomas? Because in my opinion, I think what I would want to see from Cam Thomas this season was just to be more efficiency, better playmaking, more effort on defense. I don't think he needs to really take that points per game jump. I would just rather see it more efficient. So what would y'all think would be improvement for him this season? I
want to see a consistent motor from him. That's and I think that kind of goes along with that better on offense. Pretty much everything else. Like his shooting, his scoring is great, and that's all well and good. But it's those other aspects of the game, and I think part of that is that he does not have a consistent motor. If he's not hot, if he's not hot, he's not contributing much to the game. And I want to see more of him developing as an overall player.
Yeah, it's the other skills as well I want to see. Not like, I know he can score, he can make tough shots. Now I think there's a cap on how valuable tough shot making is, unless you're like the best tough shot maker ever. But like, I just want to see, does he develop as a playmaker? Is he more engaged on defense? Can he see the floor better? Does he still take as many ill-advised shots as he does? Ideally, I would want him to shoot some more threes too, but I can understand in terms of just how high he jumps. I don't think he's ever going to be a great three-point shooter or high volume, so I can understand that. But just improving in the other areas, I think everyone knows Cam Thomas can score the basketball. I don't know if you guys were watching the Nets when we got to like March, but if you guys seen the Cam Thomas Jordan Poole duel, that was a hell of a game. I don't know if you guys seen it. Jordan Poole had like 40, Cam Thomas had like 40. The Nets won. That was a legendary game of just
I might have to
pure hoops. That was a great game. But yeah, I just want to see him improving the other things: the playmaking, the decision making, the defense, the effort, playing without the basketball. Like those are the things I want to see him improve at. Whether or not he puts up 25 or 21, doesn't really make a difference to me.
Can Cam, the 10th scorer in the league this year was Joker. He averaged 25 a game. Can Cam Thomas average 25 a game this year?
Sounds like what you guys asked about Jordan Poole last year.
I got tricked in the Jordan Poole. I got tricked in the Jordan Poole. I
did too.
100%.
Yeah, I tried to tell you guys.
I was 100% wrong about that. I knew they were going to be bad. I thought that they were just going to give him the basketball and he was going to get busy. I was way wrong about that.
But this is a different scenario, though, Chill. First off, he's Jordan Poole had to go to a whole different scenario and change his role completely. Cam Thomas was their go-to scorer last year. He was their guy to get buckets. And last year, he averaged 22.5. So to ask, can he average a few more points? And he's still a young guy getting better? Yeah. I think he easily averages 25.
How efficient is his 25?
I don't know if we need to get into that.
Yeah, it's gonna be an ugly 25.
25 will be there.
I can see 25. I mean, I don't think he's gonna have an issue with getting the shots up. Now he does, like I said, he doesn't shoot a bunch of threes, so it's gonna take a lot of shots to get to 25. But I can see it. Like I can see him getting to the 25, 26. It might be the worst 26 in the league, but I can see it.
He averaged 18 shots a game last season. That was it. He averaged 18 shots, and they're going to be worse this year, right? They're going to be worse this year. So that 18 shots, I mean, that efficiency isn't terrible. I mean, I don't think it's that bad. I mean, at 44%, I don't think it's terrible. And the three ball could get better at 36, but I mean, that 18 shots a game, considering that Jacques Vaughn isn't there, so they're going to run more offense through him. Not only are they going to run more offense through him, they're probably going to play more wide open because they're going to be bad. That's where the Ben Simmons effect comes in for as long as he can hold up. So with them being more wide open, 18 shots turns into what, 22, 23 shots a game? That looks like...
I'm looking at their roster, Chill. It's nobody to take the ball out of his hands. Maybe Cam Johnson.
Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons don't want to shoot anyways. They're gonna be like, here, Cam, take it.
Nah, we got our 16 this year.
It's no like Dorian Finney-Smith, no. Dennis Schroeder, potentially. Day'Ron Sharp, no. Noah Clowney, no. Derek Whitehead, no. Jalen Wilson, no. Jalen Martin, no. Bojan, he gonna be off the ball. It's almost like the offense is gonna be Cam Thomas go get us a bucket or what else?
Yeah, yeah. Shout out to Cam Thomas, man. I don't know how many Nets games I'm actually gonna watch this year, especially if they end. If Ben Simmons ain't actually hooping, yeah, then Nets might be my least.
Early on, you're gonna be tuned in, though, Mars.
For sure,
no question about
for sure.
that.
I'm there for the Ben Simmons resurgence.
Yes, early on, I'm gonna be tuned in. Yes, I am.
Those fits in the game go crazy.
He got like 19 in the first half. I'm gonna turn it on.
I'm there.
What's going on with Ben Simmons?
Oh God,
Cam Thomas 25 in the third quarter. Yes, let
me see what he got going on. Will I be there for tip off? Probably not.
Right quick though, Cam Thomas game high predictions next year. What's the highest scoring game that he gets?
44.
44?
Yeah, I was gonna say like high 40s, like 40, like high to mid 40s. I was gonna say like 46.
I'm going 51.
I'll go with like a 53.
He had a 45 game last year.
Yeah, no, when they let him do shooting, he be going crazy.
When it's going in, it's going in though.
Yeah,
I will give that. Yeah.
He had a 45 game, a 40 game last year, another 41 game last year. So he can give you 40 on a Tuesday night. He could do that. That could happen.
He averages 25 as a starter in his career. So starts for a whole season. Yeah, I'll give him like 50, 51, 53, somewhere in that range. He has a game where he makes like 7 threes. He's just going. Yeah, I can see that.
Boy, Cam be getting his money. That's one thing you know about Cam. He gonna step on the floor and get his money.
I just don't think they're gonna be, like you said, I think they're gonna be too bad. I don't think they're gonna be playing him a lot of minutes. Like
that's exactly why he's gonna be playing, because they're gonna.
He's not gonna help them win.
Yeah,
respectfully, he's not gonna help them win.
Yeah, that's exactly why he's gonna play.
In fact, you might lose more if you play him more minutes. Considering like the defense and the lack of passing and all of it. Well, the passing did develop towards the end of the season, but like you might lose more. Like Killian Hayes might be more valuable. Who knows?
All right. If you haven't given your grade on the Nets, now's the time to do so.
Oh, A.
Yeah,
100% A.
All right.
They're gonna be
the
terrible.
Nets have had a good offseason.
Yes, they did.
We just pooped all over their franchise and they gave them an A.
Well, the reason why is because
sometimes failure is success.
Yes, they know what they're doing. We got to tear this whole thing down, yo. We got to start over. We have to start over, and we got to recognize when we're starting over, we are going to be garbage, and we got to accept that we're going to be trash. We're not selling the illusion. Yo, we got Ben Simmons. Yo, we got Claxton, one of the best defensive players in the game. Ben Simmons, he's going to turn back into Ben Simmons from 2021, and we're going to win. We're going to be a contender for the play-in tournament. No, we're not. No, we are not. We're going to be garbage. We're going to be trash. Just so you guys know, we are in the Cooper Flag sweepstakes. That's where we are. We are in the Cooper Flag sweepstakes. We need a franchise player because our point guard, who is Ben Simmons, is made of glass. And we ain't even sure he wants to play basketball. Luckily, we only got one more year on his deal, so we can get off of him after this year. And we actually have somebody that we can build this unit around once we get in the draft. So this is great for them. You need to suck. Yes.
Is Ben Simmons out the league after this year?
No.
Nah, somebody gonna grab him.
He's in Houston.
He gonna.
Hey.
He gonna get.
You know when you can love someone from a distance, but you don't want them around you. That's
like family. Like you stay over there. You good though.
Yeah, like I rock with you when you're not really directly impacting me. Like now you're on my team. Ben Simmons, I'm gonna support you from a distance. So Houston's cool.
All right, y'all. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe and become a Hall of Famer like my man in the bottom middle. Shout out Multi Kenny and shout out all the other Hall of Famers. Y'all really hold it down. And Kenny, we appreciate y'all.
Hey, I appreciate that you appreciate me.
Kenny, while I got you up here, is there anything that's been going on this last week that you want to address?
Oh yeah. I was thinking about it because I was watching.
It's been a long week.
Yeah, I'm actually like I was an episode behind on the panel because just like I said, cross country season. So I was an episode behind. I was watching the small forwards list, and I want to harp on one thing for Mars. All right, Mars, you gave me so much shit, or my bad, so much stuff for saying Bernard King had a bag, and then now you're saying praising Bernard King, saying that he probably should have been on top 10 list. I've been trying to.
He did not say that. No, he didn't say that.
You better go rewatch the video.
No,
I was there saying get him off the list. Don't do that to me. I did say he was good. He was good. He was cool. But that's I was advocating for him to get off the list the whole time.
Well, just
don't do me like that.
Now, the fact that you were sitting there saying, well, oh, yeah, Bernard King was good. And then when I brought up, like, hey, I love Bernard King. You know, I love watching this game. You know, he had a bag at the time.
He was cool, but, like, we were doing an all-time bag draft, and you out here picking Bernard King. Like, I'm sorry. I'm like, nah. Like,
listen.
He cool. Like, he was good for the time. But when we talking bags, like, I'm sorry. Like, we're not getting with Bernard King. Right? No disrespect, but we're just not doing that.
I just every time I hear you say good things about Bernard King,
so now I just have to speak negatively every time.
I just remember the vitriol you came at me with when I was talking good.
I mean, I came at Domo for picking Larry Bird. Like,
yeah, that was wild too.
Larry Bird was number 2 on my list. Like, there's a difference between bag and like actually being good. Bernard King was good. I'm just saying, bag wise, like there's no way you taking him in an all-time bag draft. I just don't think that you can do that. But see, even Chill seen it. He was at the games.
Oh, well, okay, wait, sure. I picked Bernard King in like the 5th round, I think, with a room full of like 10 people. So he was like,
don't do that. You picked him.
I'm just saying. It was like pick number like 40, 50 something. So come on.
King play live though. Yes, I did.
Nah, but like there was guys like Nick Van Exel on the board and stuff. Like there was guys. You ain't have to do all that, but it's cool. Like shout out to Bernard King, great player. Injuries derailed everything. Just the bag wise, you shouldn't have took it. In my opinion, shout to him. Why is the chat talking about milk?
Yeah, I don't know.
I've been reading the chat for like 10 minutes. Drink milk, guys. Like I don't know what's been going on.
There's been a lot of W milk.
I've been reading it the whole. I'm like trying to scroll up and see what's going on, but I'm so confused.
I can't catch up. I
mean, you know, drink more water, but I also hope you boys can drink some milk. I hope you boys can get your vitamin D because it's good for you.
I'm lactose intolerant.
Same.
2024.
More for me. But all right, y'all. Let's continue to move on to the next team. We got the Charlotte Hornets, and we're gonna grade their offseason now. Now they lost Amari Bailey. They lost Davis Bertans, Marquez Bolden, Leaky Black, Bryce McGowan,
Leaky. I love that name. Leaky.
JT Thor, and Poku are the guys that they've lost. Who they brought in? Mars's guy from France, Tijan Salon. They brought in Raekwon Battle. Hey, Seattle guy. Check them out. KJ Simpson, Josh Green, and they re-signed Miles Bridges and Seth Curry. How do we feel about their offseason so far?
F.
As far as their offseason,
well, internal development.
Yeah, exactly. It's hard to grade teams like that. But as far as the team, I think they could be a playing team. A healthy LaMelo Ball is going to show the Hornets like we have the foundation. I think Brandon Miller can be one of the better scorers in the league. I think LaMelo, when healthy, can be in talks for top 10 point guard in the league. I like Mark Williams as a rebounder. Nick Richards off the bench is a great rim protector, in my opinion. I think there's a lot to like about this team. I don't know if I would have took Tijan Saloon with the 6th or 7th pick. It was one of those picks.
Yeah,
but I definitely think maybe Dalton Connect or Ron Holland or maybe even Modest would have helped them out just a little bit more, just being a little bit more polished coming into the game more than Tijan Saloon is. But I like what they got going on. But off-season wise, they haven't really done much for me to be like, oh yeah, B+, A-. They haven't done a lot.
So they did do something.
Yeah. They got a new coach.
Yeah, they did. I'm slipping on his name.
James Lee. Is it James Lee?
Charles Lee.
Charles Lee. My fault.
Charles Lee.
From Boston, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I guess that helps. Steve Clifford wasn't really the right coach for them, I think. He was a bit too authoritative. Just not the right figure for a young team, I think, just in terms of the modern game. Charles Lee, hopefully he's good for them. I think Tijan Salon is a disgraceful draft pick.
Disgraceful.
Watch this dude come. And by the way, watch Tijan Salon come out and average like 15 a game. Watch.
If he once again, I don't like if I'm wrong about prospects who I don't think are very good. I'm happy to say I'm wrong. Like I don't pray for these guys' downfall. Just so I can say I told you.
Not that you're saying that, Mars. I'm just saying.
I'm
just because you said he gonna be bad. Watch this dude come out.
To be wrong. Yeah, I'm very fine to be wrong on that. But in terms of just actual additions and changes, I don't think Josh Green does much for them. Every player they lost was probably a bad NBA player. Like Poku's not good. Davis Bertans is not good at this point. JT Thor is better in theory than reality. Like they haven't lost anything substantial. Everything about them is going to be LaMelo being healthy, internal development, Mark Williams being healthy. But in terms of actual moves, F. Tijan Salon's a bad move. Extending a criminal is a bad move. Just bad move. Yeah, bad move. F.
So, Ron, Charlotte is one of those places like Utah, like Portland, where you got to get it right in the draft. You're not bagging no big-time free agents. You're not. So, with Mark Williams, this whole thing is going to have to work internally. Now, bringing back Bridges, who basically he definitely fumbled the bag 2 seasons ago with the goofy, with the when him beating up on his shit like that. That was so corny, and he was lucky to be back in the league. But with all that being said, he's still a damn good player. Lonzo is the linchpin in all of this. Lonzo can stay healthy. I think that they could compete. In addition to Lonzo being healthy,
LaMelo.
That's Lonzo Miles. I'm sorry. In addition to LaMelo being healthy. In addition to Mark Williams, and now you have this kid Bridges, and I'm saying it now, call up the Golden State Warriors and ask them what they want for Curry.
What?
Ask them what they want.
Where did that come from?
Ask them what they want for Curry. Ask them what they want for Curry. What's realistic? What is realistic? What is realistic in Charlotte that we could give you for Curry? Because they're gonna be bad too. And the destruction in Golden State has already started, right? Clay's gone. Not only is Clay gone, but Wiggins is gonna be gone. They're gonna be terrible. They just extended Steph Curry, so the thank you money is already off the table. We already got that figured out. So now the question is where are we gonna move him to? Steph Curry is from Charlotte. Not only is he from Charlotte, if we could hold on to LaMelo, if we could hold on to Mark Williams, and get Steph Curry in the fold, could we be a competitive play-in team? I'm not sure. And he's from, like I said, and he's from Charlotte. Call up the Golden State Warriors and ask for Steph Curry. What do you have to lose?
That was so
what do you have to lose?
No, the Hornets got the Curry they can get. They got the Curry they can get. They're not getting.
Yeah, they've had two of the Curry family already on their roster in their history. They chilling. They don't need another. Maybe they can get Damian Lee. That's as far as they go in with the Curry.
I don't know about that.
That was Stephen Curry the second.
But back to the point. This whole thing again is just internal. So the guys that you have, you got to develop them. That's more than anything, because nobody's coming to Charlotte in free agency. You're not. I mean, you was able to hold on to your free agent in Bridges, right? You're probably going to be able to hold on to Mark Williams. You already re-signed LaMelo Ball. So if this kid that Mars doesn't like, if he can actually turn into a player, maybe we're on to something in terms of our core. Maybe we're on to something. And if LaMelo isn't made of glass like I think he is, maybe we can develop into something.
I did not expect that time.
What do you have to lose? Call up the Golden State Warriors and ask for Steph Curry.
I want LaMelo and Brandon Miller.
Yes, there's no way. There's no way they
last I checked, Ron, if you in the party, the reason why that fine chick over there, she's by herself, because all these dudes in here scared to talk to her. I bet you if you walked over there and said something to her, she might be with it. How you gonna find out, Ron?
It's only one way to find out.
How you gonna find out, Ron? How you gonna find out, Ron?
There's only one way to find out.
They're gonna send them a presentation.
Hey, chill. Tighten up your belt. Put a stick of gum in, buddy, and then go talk to her.
Go over there and find out.
Y'all gonna see the difference between flirting and harassment real quick.
Go over there and find out. What I'm asking is, what's the worst that can happen? She go, I'm good. But you know what could also happen? What's on your mind? Now we got a conversation. And if we got a conversation, if we got a conversation,
hey, chill.
I might be walking out of here with her. I'm just saying. I might be walking out of here with her.
You might be walking out in handcuffs too.
Maybe. But see, that's the thing though. What let me ask you this question. What's more likely? She's probably going to, if she tells me no, I'll step off. But again, if she says, what's on your mind? Now we're entertaining the conversation. I might be walking out here with her.
My thing is chill.
Pockets hurt.
I don't want to be here anyways. If it's only one fine chick by herself, and I'm over here with the rest of the dudes, hey, look, I either want the prize or I want to get packed up.
It's wrong.
All right, we need grades on the Hornets.
F.
A+ if they get Steph.
I give him a C-.
C-?
Yeah, I'm gonna do a D+.
I'll give him a C. Mm-hmm.
All right. Moving along, we got the next team, and they were in the NBA championship last year. The Dallas Mavericks. Let's talk about these guys. This should be interesting. They lost Greg Brown to free agency. Markieff Morris. Tim Hardaway is gone. Josh Green is gone. And Derrick Jones is gone. They have brought in a good amount of guys. They brought in Kessler Edwards. They brought in Jamarian Sharp, who they drafted. They brought in Spencer Dinwiddie. They brought in Emmanuel Miller, who they drafted from TCU. They brought in Quentin Grimes. They brought in Najee Marshall. And last but certainly not least, they brought in a splash brother, Klay Thompson from the Golden State Warriors. I need grades on the Dallas Mavericks.
I give him an A-. I think, especially when we look at the NBA Finals, I'm not going to speak on before because I think they were solid from three, but really against the Boston Celtics, the shots were just not falling. Derrick Jones Jr.'s shot wasn't falling. He was under 30%. PJ Washington was under 30%. And when we talk about a guy in Klay Thompson, who was, I think off the top of my head, was taking the second most shots on the Golden State Warriors, and they were trying to win. I just think him having a lesser role and not having to shoot the ball as much is going to be very impactful. Now, as far as Derrick Jones Jr., I think Najee Marshall can sit at the same table. And I think Quentin Grimes is a solid perimeter defender too. That's somebody I would invest in this season to be like, okay, this guy can guard a lead guard or he can guard some twos, but he's definitely active with his hands. He's very energetic on that side of the floor. So I think the Dallas Mavericks can go like 57-25 this season, 58-24. Like if I had to bet on anybody to win MVP, it's Luka Doncic. So I'm really high on the Dallas Mavericks this season.
I just think that Najee Marshall pickup was big, man. I do.
Yeah.
Because of the value that he adds on both sides of the basketball. He might not shoot it. He might not shoot it the best, but he can knock down the long ball. And, to add Klay Thompson, I think he's an upgrade from Tim Hardaway Jr. People think Klay Thompson is going to be Klay Thompson of old playing with Luka, which, I'm not buying that because the offense is way different, right? The offense is way different when you got when you got a guy that's a primary ball handler. That offense, that the ball doesn't hop like it does in Golden State. So I think that's going to affect Klay Thompson. But I think the Najee Marshall addition, I think that's going to be huge. And the fact that having Daniel Gafford, having PJ Washington back in the fold, I think that's going to be big for these dudes. I think they're going to be good. Are they getting back to the NBA championship? No, I ain't buying that. I don't think so. But I give them, to be honest, Ron, I give them a B+ for what they did.
I'm in the same boat. I give them a B+, but I'm actually the opposite of John. Like I'm not high on the Mavericks. I'm sorry. I'm just not. I feel like them even making the finals was one of those situations where we think a team is closer than what they actually are, where it's just they made the finals. Now you're thinking, oh, okay, now they got Klay championship. I don't think they're as close as people think they are. But I like the moves though. B+.
Anybody else?
Yeah, sorry. I was letting people go. I think they did exactly what they were supposed to do. They re-upped, and I think John made a really good point with the shooting variance when it came to the 3-ball, and I think getting Klay Thompson for that, because even though we can say that Klay is washed to some degree, he is still elite from that 3-point range, and if he doesn't have to take as many, we don't got to rely on if that shot varies a little bit more, but he's going to be more consistent than the other boys on that team, and then those other pickups kind of like shoring up those holes in the team, I think are really good. I think if you're grading on did they get them better for the championship or something like that, I can understand being a little bit down on them, but I think they did get better as a team. For that, I want to give them an A. They did, because every other team was re-upping as well, trying to either get better or keeping the same, make sure they're keeping their core together. They kept their core that worked for this playoffs run, and then added pieces to where they were lacking. So I think this is a great offseason for them.
All right. But nobody believes that they're going back.
I don't think so, Mars.
I don't.
No, I don't think so.
They kind of.
Yeah, there's a world.
Mars, there's a difference between do you think they're going back to the championship, Mars?
I wouldn't put my money on them. No.
Right. So that's what I'm talking about.
I got OKC.
I do know you have OKC. That's the question, Mars. Can the Denver Nuggets get back to the NBA championship? They can. By show of hands, how many people in here think the Denver Nuggets are going back to the finals? I'm sorry, Mars.
No. Yeah, but that doesn't mean that doesn't mean I don't like. I don't think only like I think Boston's going to the finals out east, and I think OKC's going to the finals out west. But if someone says I got the Bucks versus the Mavericks, I'm like, I can see the world in which that happens. It's the playoffs is all about matchups. If the Mavericks get favorable matchups or they get hot at the right time, I also like the fact that I think their defense got better than it was last year. I also think if Luka's fully healthy in the postseason, as opposed to him playing compromised, like that, they can also just be better in that department. Like, I can see the avenue in which they're back in the finals, but I do agree with what Emto said of just because the team got to the finals, and I do think they got better. That doesn't mean that now all of a sudden the only way is up. They can be a better team and lose in the second round just because of a bad matchup. So I can, once again, similar to how I had it last year, I said I could see them losing in the first round, but I can see them getting all the way to the conference finals and beyond. I probably see them winning in the first round, depending on health, but I could see them losing in the second round or going all the way to the finals. And depends on who they play in the finals. If it's not Boston, I could see them winning.
Now, here's the thing, though, Mars, because you mentioned to me, this was earlier in the year. I mean, this was right before the playoffs started, that you had mentioned to me that this Dallas Maverick team, you could see them either a first round exit or all the way to the conference finals. Now we're talking about a Western Conference that's a lot more stacked than it was last season. That's number one. Number two, we're also talking about a Western Conference where Dallas did get a favorable matchup last year. Dallas did get some guys who kind of fell off last year. So what's the likelihood that that's going to happen to them again, even with Luka healthy? What's the likelihood that that's going to happen to them again? I don't think it's very likely. I think that they do run into Denver. I think that they do run into Oklahoma City early. I don't think that they're going to be as good a regular season team as you guys think they are. I don't think so.
No, you say favorable matchup, but you had the Wolves beating them.
I did have the Wolves beating them, yes.
And they handled them. So it became favorable because they destroyed them, or it was favorable before the series?
Yes, it was favorable because they destroyed them.
I think there's still some favorable matchups.
Oh man, I got the games right. Let's be clear about that, Mars. I did get the games right.
You did.
I got the games right, but I got the team wrong. I had Minnesota handling them dudes. I did.
Hey, I think a lot.
I had Minnesota handling them.
Had Minnesota winning. After what I saw against the Nuggets, I thought the Timberwolves were going to the finals.
I thought they was going to straight handle Dallas. Yeah, I got the games right. That's as far as I'm going to go. But to your point, like you just said, getting hot at the right time, favorable matchups. I don't think that was a favorable matchup for Dallas. I just thought that they got hot more than anything, and Minnesota got a lot of things exposed, like their offense isn't very good. Even though we knew that throughout the course of the season, we knew that their offense wasn't very good. It's just that when we saw them on the biggest stage in the Western Conference Finals, the curtain got lifted up on everything that was wrong with their offense. So
yeah. Ant needs to get better with his decision making. I think their gap defensive scheme worked pretty well against teams like the Timberwolves, against teams like the Thunder. I think it could work pretty well against the Grizzlies this season, or maybe the Denver Nuggets. I think they can still get some favorable matchups in the playoffs to where they can find themselves back in the Western Conference Final Series. And then I think there's games where Luka is like, we're gonna win this game. Like I think there's games where Luka comes out.
He can do
like,
that. Luka could get you a game.
Yeah,
Luka could get you a game. He could get you even 2 games. Can Luka win you a series? I don't think that's ridiculous. I don't think that's
Luka really good, man, and that was Luka, and he wasn't even healthy. Like,
I don't think it's ridiculous to think that Luka can win you a series. I don't think that's ridiculous to think that. Now to throw you like a huge sack of laundry, throw you on his back, and take you to the NBA championship. I don't know. I think we're asking a lot.
Yeah,
I don't know about that.
I don't think he has to. I mean, their defense is better, their spacing is better. More consistent. Anytime you get off Tim Hardaway Jr. makes it an A minimum.
Get Hardaway. Get Hardaway.
Like they're a team that got to the finals, and I think they improved in every area that they were relatively deficient in. That doesn't mean I think they're going to win the championship.
Yeah.
But I find it hard to not give them a A. I find it hard.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, like another thing you got to put into factor is just like you said, winning requires a lot of luck. Even if a team is better, winning does matter. And I feel like when they played the Thunder, for being honest, if Shea does not foul in that corner, I don't know if Buddy makes that 3. They probably go to game 7. I stick on that. I think he was gonna miss. They go to game 7. I would have had the Thunder.
How you feel about Oklahoma City Mars in game 7 against Dallas?
I had us winning the series up until that Shea foul. Like I don't know.
I don't know.
The whole series, I had OKC winning. Up until that moment, I had OKC winning. I think PJ missed the first free throw. I had OKC winning.
If we're being honest, Shea was the best player in that series. If we're being honest, like
for sure. Yeah. I think
OKC.
I think even Luka's biggest fans would say that Shea was the best player in that series.
And OKC in game 7 in Dallas, I can't see Luka letting them out of there with a win. Even as compromised as he is, I can't see it.
I got OKC winning this year too. So I'm gonna keep picking OKC until Houston are ready to win.
All right, y'all. We are going to move on to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Go ahead and like the video if you haven't. Subscribe, and we will get to your super chats very soon. But as of right now, we got to talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers. They still haven't re-signed Isaac Okoro?
No.
Hell no.
Well, he's a restricted free agent, so I would like to think that he's going to stick around. But Just keep that in mind. Isaac Okoro still hasn't been re-signed. They lost Isaiah Mobley. They lost Marcus Morris. They lost Tristan Thompson. And they lost Damian Jones.
Mm-hmm.
They brought in from the draft Jalen Tyson, JT Thor, Luke Travers from Australia. Mm-hmm. Shout out Luke Travers. And they re-signed the biggest re-signing of the offseason, Imani Bates. How are we feeling about the Cleveland Cavaliers offseason?
You know the Cavs don't have. They got one foreigner on their team. That's it. Just one. Everybody else from the States.
Luke Travers?
That's it. He the only foreigner on their crew. Everybody else on the crew is from the States. Everybody. That's
God bless America.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Cavs are America's team.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Shout out to them.
So
nah. Kenny Atkinson was an addition too as a coach.
I think that's a big addition.
Yeah, I think that means something. So Kenny Atkinson, Jalen Tyson, I liked a lot. Coming in from Cal. I don't know how much of an opportunity he's going to get because he had like a big role in college in terms of handling the ball, initiating, playmaking, shot creation. I don't know if they're going to try and minimize his role and make him more like a spot up. He wasn't the best defender, but defender, all of those things. So, but I liked him. Imani Bates, he said he put on weight. I can't remember what he said he was, 196 or something. Something he said. Is that what he said? Something like that. Oh man, just he said he put on weight. He said he put on weight and he was aiming for a target weight before the season. Something like that.
I think it was like 208 or something was his target. I think he was trying to put on like 10 more pounds.
Yeah, something like that. Imani Bates getting stronger. Maybe you can find minutes for him because I mean he's tall. He can definitely shoot the ball. You can never say no to more spacing. If he can compete on defense and be viable out there, you can maybe find some minutes for him. But in terms of like additions, I don't think they've really done much for him. But so yeah, I'm reading like a C-, maybe D+.
I think the same thing that we talk about, like with the Celtics, the same thing happened here with the Cavs. I mean, they re-signed Mobley, they re-signed Jared Allen, they bagged Donovan Mitchell. In addition to bagging Donovan Mitchell, your guy, Imani Bates, they brought him back. They still haven't re-signed Isaac Okoro, who I actually liked this season. I thought he did a good job. He was actually really good this year at the long ball line. Defensively, I think that they're going to be one of the best teams in the league off the strength of the addition to Kenny Atkinson. I think he is going to be the difference in what they're doing. Not to say that JB Bickerstaff ain't a damn good coach, because I think he's a damn good coach. That's why I think Detroit's going to be better. But the fact that Kenny Atkinson now actually is able to have this crew of his own, I think they're going to be much better defensively. I think they're going to be more switchable. I think they're going to be a better rebounding team. And Kenny Atkinson is known to work with scraps and get busy with those scraps. He did that with the Brooklyn Nets when Kyrie Irving went down and they ended up making the playoffs that year with D'Angelo Russell. So I actually like what they're doing with this Cleveland Cavaliers team. I'm one of the few people that's down with Cleveland, and I would not be surprised if they was in the East Finals this year. That wouldn't surprise me at all.
You surprised me.
It would shock me.
I think I think if Evan Mobley takes that step offensively, I definitely think they can go band for band with like the Sixers, the Knicks, the Bucks. It's just hard to believe that Jared Allen and Evan Mobley could really work in the future because Evan Mobley's so restricted to like the restricted area, in my opinion.
What do you dudes got this problem with Evan Mobley and Jared? What's y'all problem with these two dudes, man? Mars. I don't get it, man. What's y'all problem with these two?
I just think Evan Mobley will be maximized at the 5. It's not a knock on Jared Allen, and I think
it's not.
I think they complement each other relatively well. Like I like the high-low stuff they got going on. I like that stuff. But I think if we want to see the best out of Evan Mobley, and I think the best out of Evan Mobley means the best for the Cavs, I think he's got to play the 5. I just think he got to play the 5.
I don't know, man. I just think the offense, the outside shooting, I think it needs to be a lot better for him to be playing the 4, especially because I watched some film on how Kenny Atkinson runs his offense. It's a lot of pin downs, it's a lot of off-ball screens, a lot of high pick and rolls. And it's where does Evan Mobley fit in that if Jared Allen is going to be the one setting the high pick and rolls for a Darius Garland or a Donovan Mitchell? Would that put him on the baseline? Would that put him in the corner? I don't know how them two fit together in a half-court scenario if Evan Mobley can't hit that outside shot. I mean, he was 25% from mid-range. He was like 30% on left corner He was like 30% on left corner threes, and he only took 10 of them in the regular season. He's not outside of the restricted area. He's like 44%. It's not good outside of the restricted
John,
area.
then you saw him in the playoffs knocking down threes, and you're like, wait a minute, okay, can we?
We had that game against Orlando where he made two.
Like, wait a minute, can we get some more of this? Right? Can we get a little bit more of this? You saw the same thing, Mars. You saw the same thing against the Celtics too. I think it was like game 4.
I know what game you're talking about. When he knocked down threes. It was the first game of the Orlando series.
Like, can we get more of that?
I was never worried.
Threes in another game. Evan Mobley made back-to-back threes.
But he did make open.
Any other game.
Are you sure he didn't do that against Boston? I think it was game 2. That was the game that they won.
I just looked up because I know I wasn't working. Game 1 against Orlando, 2 for 4.
Yep.
1 for 4, 0 for 3, 0 for 0, 0 for 0, 0 for 0, 0 for 0, 0 for 0.
That was against Orlando.
1 for 2. Yeah. 1 for 2, 0 for 1, 1 for 1, 0 for 3. It was the one game he made multiple threes. That's it.
And then not just the 3-ball, but he was also knocking down open shots in the mid-range too. He did do that. That is a fact. And knowing Kenny Atkinson and knowing the way Kenny Atkinson's brain works, I would not be surprised. If Evan Mobley was able to knock down that mid-range and that long ball just a little bit more.
I hope he does.
That he can put both Evan Mobley and Jared Allen in pick and roll. Like the 4 and 5, I wouldn't be surprised if he did that, Mars. And the reason why I wouldn't be surprised in that, because he could get favorable switches. We've seen him, even though I'm not a big fan of this whole summer league thing. But if we could get Evan Mobley getting switched on to other bigs, where he can take them, drag them away from the basket, and take them to the basket, I think that's a viable option for them. Viable.
All right, y'all. We got to move on. But Multi-Kenny, before unfortunately you have to leave, I got to ask you a question.
What's good?
You know the PCL starts on September 4th, or the playoffs.
Yep.
And these are some of the good matchups you're going to get. You got Mars versus Jack Cody. Dion from my dog against my dog MTL. We got Big Ox versus Gifted. Swiping versus Easy. Chill versus OG the Beast. Pin versus Hayes. Elder Rufus versus my man John D. And also Casual versus Pirate.
Yes,
I got to ask you 2 questions, Multi-Kenny.
Yeah.
Which matchup are you most looking forward to? And who's winning the whole thing?
Matchup I'm looking forward to the most is Chill versus OG the Beast. That's gonna be a good one. That's gonna be that's actually I think the best matchup. That's one of the matchups that if OG the Beast was I think in a different group, that could have been a finals matchup. That's a great matchup. Who I think's gonna win the whole thing?
Mars.
Can I see the screen again? I just want to make sure I see everybody.
Hold on. Here we go.
All right. Based off of like the potential bracket and everything like that, I think Mars will make it into the final. He kind of has an easy road.
No, he doesn't. He got a rematch against Pirate.
Pirate not gonna make it past Casual. So, and yeah, I think Mars gonna win it.
Yeah, I think Pirate's in the chat.
Yeah, I think Mars gonna win it all pretty much. Especially if I'm judging it.
Okay. Let's go. Shout out Mars. All right, Multi. Appreciate you for coming through. Hopefully we catch you sooner than later on another Hall of Fame Friday.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
In the meantime, keep holding it down, my man, and we'll do the same up here.
Yes, sir. Good luck to your crew, B. Good luck to your crew.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
All right, y'all. We gotta keep it pushing to the Denver Nuggets. Here's what they did this offseason. They lost Braxton Key. They lost Justin Holiday. Lost KCP, which was a big hit for him. Lost Reggie Jackson and Colin Gillespie. Who they got was Dario Saric, Deron Holmes, Gabe McLaughlin, Jameer Young, Jalen Williams from Auburn, PJ Hall, Spencer Jones, and Trey Alexander. They got a lot of guys in the draft.
Deron Holmes is missing his whole rookie year with a torn Achilles. So they got him. That's unfortunate too, because I really like Deron Holmes.
Oh, and they re-signed Vlatko Kankar and DeAndre Jordan.
C-, maybe C+, C-. C. I'll say C in the middle. C.
I would say C.
Yeah, losing KCP is big. I like Dario Saric. Vlatko being back is someone who not many people can like respect or anything, but I think he was good the year before when he wasn't hurt. Spaces the floor, athletic, can compete on defense. I think that's valuable. Russell Westbrook over Reggie Jackson 1,000,000 times out of 1,000,000. I think that's cool. Other than that, I don't think anyone else is really going to be in there to contribute right away who wasn't already on the roster, like Peyton Watson, Christian Brown, those type of players. And I think losing KCP is just a big deal. So that's why I'm giving them a C. Average off season, I think they're maybe slightly worse than they were last year, but I do think it gets like overblown in terms of how much worse they are. I think that's just because people thought they were a lot better than they actually were last year. So now they're trying to correct. And
but what was the difference though, Mars? I mean, they won the championship. The next year they bring back. I mean, they end up losing Brown. That was a big deal. That was a huge deal losing Brown. But in terms of their core, MPJ, KCP, Joker, Jamal Murray. I mean, bringing that core back. Why was it? Was it ridiculous to think that they couldn't be right back in the Western Conference Championship or the NBA Finals again? Like, what was the biggest problem? I mean, it couldn't just have been Bruce Brown or losing Bruce Brown. Like, what was the biggest issue with them last year? They said
when you run an 8-man rotation for 2 straight years, you just run the risk of fatigue. When you have guys who just aren't competent to actually help you in the regular season, and I think they tried too hard to. Sounds crazy. I think they tried too hard to win regular season games. I genuinely they should have
paced themselves more.
Yes, that's what they should have done. They should have paced themselves. That would have helped them, so they didn't like run out of gas near the end. And also, like, this was a championship team that, like, I know most teams this is true to, but for them especially, any injuries was going to minimize their window exponentially. Jamal Murray being compromised minimizes their window a lot. KCP having that bad ankle minimizes their window a lot. Like, they were like a team that they won, and they won like handily 16-4 in the playoffs. I think 16-5 or whatever. But I don't think their margin for error is as big as like Boston. Boston could miss a Kristaps Porzingis and they could still win. Other teams, they could miss someone for a series and still win. This was a team that they needed everyone fully healthy, fully engaged to, in my opinion, get through the West, and they didn't have that. Their margin for error was just smaller. That's why I wasn't as high on Denver this year, especially once I saw them playing. I was like, yeah, this is I don't know if they're going to do it, but I still think they can make the conference finals. I still think they can make the finals. They're that talented and favorable matchups and health, but they just don't have as large a margin for error as other teams do. So that's why.
Is it because of the shortened rotation? Is that the biggest problem?
Shortened rotation, relying on inexperience, relying on jumps from guys who haven't really indicated that they're going to take the jump. Peyton Watson offensive leaps, for example, like relying on stuff like that where there hasn't really been much evidence of those things happening. I can understand the pessimism, but I also understand the optimism of Peyton Watson. If he plays the right position, the 3 is one of the better wing defenders, helps add rim protection, mobile. Christian Brown can play defense. Yep. He can get up and down the floor. They've become more athletic, which I think is good for them. So I can see the optimism, but I also see the pessimism. So C, average off season.
I just think the addition of Russell Westbrook, people think that that's filling the hole of KCP. It's not. It's filling the hole of the backup lead guard. That's not what they got Russell Westbrook for. They got Russell Westbrook because they lost their backup lead guard. He's going to help them. He's going to speed them up. He's going to be one of their better rebounders. They're going to be better in transition as an offense. Defensively, I don't think that they're going to be that great, especially with Russ on the floor. But I do think that he could relieve Jamal Murray of some minutes at the lead guard spot, not only when Jamal Murray is off the floor, but when he's on the floor too, because I think Jamal Murray can play off the ball. I need Peyton Watson to be better than what he was last year. I don't think that I'm asking too much from him, even though he didn't do that much in college, but I don't think that I'm asking that much from him. Guys like Najee, and I was actually surprised that he made the playoff roster. I thought he played himself off the playoff roster, to be honest with you. That's where guys like Strother, I feel like those guys like Strother are guys that are going to have to improve their game in order for them to be better. And that 8-man rotation, Mars, it's got to go up, fellas, to 10. 8 ain't enough. 8 is not enough.
Especially in a regular season.
No, 8 is not enough. We need 10 guys. That's not enough.
I'm going to start trying to boost Jokic plus minus, man. And that's what we also need to do.
I'll give him a C, Ron. That's as far as I'm going with them.
I'm gonna keep it all the way hot, man. They get a D- because they didn't give my boy Russ his number, man. Give Russ his number, man.
Why you get to wear 0?
Yeah, that's his number. That's Russ. That's Russ.
I know that you. I'm talking about Brown. I know that you was on a championship team, but yo, this year? 2 for you? Year 3? Come off that, B. And no, I ain't giving you. And no, I ain't giving you $50,000. No, I'm not doing
that. Was crazy.
That's Brown's number 2. No, okay, first of all, Russ said that he never actually asked Christian Brown for his number, so that reporter apparently lied. Oh. But also, even if Russ did ask him, keep your number, CB, man. You was on the team first. Keep your number. Who Russ think he is coming in demanding my number? Shut up.
I didn't demand it. I'm asking. Hey, my man.
No, shut up. Where's your championship? No, I'm not trying to hear that. No. Show me your ring.
Is Russ really gonna wear number 4?
Already getting off to a bad start on.
He wore number 4 in Washington.
Sure did.
Yes, he did. He won number 4 in Washington. Yes, he did.
Exactly. And he averaged a triple-double, so that just means he's going to average a triple-double in Denver.
And it ain't like wearing 0. That means that's going to automatically push Russ over the top. He wore 0 in Houston.
No, definitely not. No, I'm just playing though. But yeah, I honestly would give them a C-. I really don't. Their moves are just kind of like meh to me for the most part.
I think you hit the nail on the head, Mars, when it's just you're counting on a lot of people. You're counting on a lot of young players, in my opinion, that to hit the outside shots or make jumps that we have not seen much of. Like I don't think Christian Brown is going to insert himself into the starting lineup and be the consistent shooter that they need. Plus Aaron Gordon not being the consistent shooter on top of that. But what gives me hope that the Nuggets can still go to the NBA Finals. They have the best player in the world. There's points in games where it just looks like the Denver Nuggets are going to get whatever they want, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. And I think as long as you still have Nikola Jokic on the floor, that's still going to be a thing. Like there's going to be a 3 to 5 minute stretch in the fourth quarter where the Nuggets are getting absolutely everything they want, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. And I still think they can do it. I still think they can get back to the NBA Finals, but the shooting is definitely going to be a concern. Putting so much faith into guys like Peyton Watson, Christian Brown, Julian Strawther, that's a really big risk for a guy like Nikola Jokic who's in the middle of his prime and trying to win. So,
and he specifically asked for Russ too. Let's be clear about that. It's not like it's not like they just bagged Russ out of free agency. He was like, "Yo, go get him."
Jokic win a ring with Russell Westbrook. That means he's the best center ever. That's what that means.
Hey, Mars, it's gonna get tricky. You laughing? Okay, it's gonna get tricky. It's gonna get real tricky. It's gonna be some uncomfortable conversations that we're gonna have up here if Russell Westbrook wins the NBA championship as a major contributor on a championship team. If Russ is just like Mitch Richmond on the way out, if he's Gary Payton on the Miami Heat, that's different. But if Russ is a major contributor on this Denver Nugget team and they win the NBA championship, man, we gotta have some real.
It's gonna be
maybe Ron was right to say he's the 4th best point guard ever.
He's
up to 3 now. He's up to 3.
Love it.
Come on, put him there right now. You already think he that anyway. The championship shouldn't change that.
Well, that's the thing though. Like I value John Stockton's back-to-back finals runs.
Okay. I don't understand why you hating that, Moss. I don't understand why you hating that.
I didn't know he had John Stockton at 3.
They swept the Lakers in the West Finals in '98. Mopped the floor with them dudes.
Shout out to John Stockton, man. Shout out to John Stockton.
Facts.
Dang, bro, she see what you got to do. Just 18 points, 1 finals game. That's all you got to do. 18, 1 finals.
Nah, let Russ average like 19 in a finals win, man. I'm here for it. But I've already been seeing the Jokic shot conversations on the timeline on Twitter, man. People ready to put Jokic in those conversations.
Yeah, they waiting on it.
How hard the 5-man conversation is. Wait till we have that conversation. I'm telling you right now. Oh my goodness.
We doing the center list next week, Ron?
Yeah. So we're not gonna do it on Monday. Piper won't be here on Monday. But you will be here later in the week, so we will get to more than likely we'll get to all 3 of the remaining positions: shooting guard, power forward, and center. Next week should be an amazing week.
Joker wins the NBA championship with Russ twice in 3 years, winning the league MVP 3 times in 4 years.
Oh my God. He gonna skyrocket.
Oh my God.
He's gonna skyrocket.
Oh my God.
All right, y'all. We got to move on to the Detroit.
He ain't better than Shaq, yo. I'm not trying to hear that. I'm not trying to hear that. He is not better than the Diesel. No, Mars. I'm not trying to hear it. No. I'm not trying to hear that. No, I'm not. I'm not trying to hear that, Mars. Because I already know what's happening, John. I already know what's happening right now. Because I could see it happening. That Joker moves. Because I had to listen to this dumb shit. I'm sorry if I'm cussing. But I had to listen to this dumb shit when Giannis won the championship. He better than Malone, and I'm like, here we go, here we can go, yo. So I can only imagine if the Denver Nuggets win the NBA championship. That's 3 league MVPs in 4 years. That's 2 championships in 3 years, and he's probably going to be the Finals MVP. That's, of course, if Russ doesn't win it. Holy shit! Then we gotta have a way different argument. Then. Oh my goodness!
I think that happens every year though. Like even with Tatum and him being underwhelming in the finals, they're still trying to push that. Oh yeah, he was a Olympic gold medalist. He was a All NBA first teamer, and he was an NBA champion in one season. Like people are still gonna prop you up if you win a championship. So it's like I feel like that happens every summer.
Life. I'm hoping, to be honest, I'm not really. There's very rare that I'm hoping that somebody loses. I do not want to see Joker win the NBA championship because because it's going to Mars. The conversation is going to take years off my life.
Chill, just
praying on his downfall.
It's going to take years off my life. It is.
Jokic wins another championship.
Not better than the Diesel.
Yes, he is. If he gets another one, he is.
Let's say the Timberwolves go out and win a championship. How uncomfortable is them conversations going to be about Ant? Like it's going to be anybody, whether Jason Tatum goes out and he gets Finals MVP, averages about 39 and 6. Everybody's going to have that uncomfortable conversation, no matter how they play in the finals. As soon as they win a championship, I
actually do want to see Russ win. I actually do want to see. Now I'm thinking about it. I do want to see Joker win it. I do. I want to see Joker win it. I do.
I got a lot of expensive bets with people.
I want to see Joker win it. He ain't better than Shaq. Nah, you can't sell me that. No.
Can he ever be better than Shaq?
No.
Can he ever get in your top 10
of centers
all time players?
Mars, he said of centers. Can we just
for
him to say of centers is further?
But Jokic are only 29. We don't know. Like, can Jokic can't get into your top 10 all time?
Chill, but Jokic can't have a crazy 7-year run.
He could do that. That part, top 15.
For all we know,
we might even know.
He could just be getting warmed up, Chill. For all we know.
To be honest with you, Mars and fellas, as much as I wouldn't like it, and it's probably going to take some, I'd have to start talking about him and Moses. And yes, this is a real.
He hasn't passed Moses for you yet.
Real conversation.
Okay. He did that like 4 years
ago. Hard, man.
Shout out to Moses Malone. I ain't even know we were still having those conversations. My fault, Jokic.
So what if he 3-peats? I saw somebody say that.
I wasn't.
Yeah, that's so far away though. Like,
yeah,
he would.
I'm just asking Chill because he said
it would be this. It would be this. And it would be this. I'll be gone.
Hey.
The reason why is because I would really have to, because y'all know how I feel about winning. I mean, winning is high on the list, but for him to win the NBA championship, like you just said, 3 times or to three-peat, so that would be 4. I mean, I'm sorry, for him to win the NBA championship, that would be 4 in 5 years.
Same as Shaq.
That means that you and Joker don't strike me. Joker don't strike me as a dude who is just getting busy in the playoffs. No, he's dominating in the regular season too. Not only is he dominating the regular season, you guys have heard my spiel. I think he would have bust Alonzo Mourning ass. I think he would have gave Patrick Ewing the business. So now you want to put that on with him 3-peating in addition to the 4 championships and 3 NBA and 3 MVPs in 4 years. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna lose some years off my life.
He be top 10. He be top 10.
Now we having a different damn. Mars.
People already saying after when Nikola Jokic had that really good. I forget which game.
I don't think he's better than Olajuwon, but if that to happen, oh my god,
yeah. It was.
He's not gonna 3-peat though. Like
we don't know. We don't know. We don't know.
Happening, but
we don't know.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, if Michael Porter Jr. gets a little bit better, if Aaron Gordon maybe can start knocking down more threes, if Jamal Murray can stay healthy, potentially. But
yeah, Shaq needed another top 5 player on the planet to 3-peat. Jokic gonna do it without an all-star. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be the argument. That's gonna be the argument. I'm just letting you know that's gonna be the argument.
But all right, y'all, we got to get to the Detroit Pistons. And grade their offseason. They lost Evan Fournier, who is an unrestricted free agent right now. Troy Brown, another unrestricted free agent. They lost Quentin Grimes, Taj Gibson, James Wiseman, Malachi Flynn, Buddy Boeheim, and Chimezie Metu. Who they got? They acquired Tobias Harris. They got Tim Hardaway Jr. They drafted Ron Holland. They got Paul Reed, Malik Beasley, Wendell Moore, Bobby Clintman, got him from Australia, and Danis Jenkins from St. John's. And they signed Fontecchio as well. How are we feeling? Oh, and extended Cade Cunningham also. How are we feeling about the offseason for the Detroit Pistons?
And
I need a grade.
Monty Williams. And they go off Monty Williams.
I don't, of all the additions that they made, that's the only that's why I'm giving them a B. For that reason, I think Detroit's going to be a lot better this year. Off the strength of them getting JB Bickerstaff. He is a lot better coach than people gave him credit for. They're going to be better defensively. I'm on record. I think Jalen Duren's going to make the Olympic team in 28. I'm saying it. I think he's going to be on. I think he's going to be on an Olympic team in 28. The fact that JB Bickerstaff comes in with a plan, he's not trying to lose games. He's actually trying to make this team viable, and not just make them viable. He's going to make Cade Cunningham compete on the defensive end. He's going to make Ivy compete on the defensive end. I think that they're going to play faster. And the reason why they're going to play faster because they're going to be better defensively. That's going to largely be due to Jalen Duren. They're going to be a better rebounding team. I don't have them winning like 30 or 35 games, but I definitely have them better, and that's going to be because of JB Bickerstaff. That's why I give them a B.
Yeah. If I'm Detroit, I'm like, look, let's go 27-55. It don't have to be pretty. Let's just get better. I definitely think their draft was interesting. I think Ron Holland was a good pickup, but it's like if neither one of Asor Thompson or Ron Holland figure out their jump shot, it could get really ugly. And then I think you just need to get one of them to league average. But other than that, I think Cade Cunningham could take a jump. Like I think he could be 24, 25, and 8.5, 9 this season. I forgot the name of their shooting coach who helped Lonzo Ball, I think, with his jump shot. I forgot his name, but he's there now.
Fred Vincent.
Lethal
Fred
shooter.
Vincent.
Oh, I thought it was lethal shooter.
But yeah, I think they got some solid pieces. They've grabbed some more floor spacers and Tobias and Tim Hardaway and Simone Fontecchio. I think they re-signed. And I know for some contending teams, these are like throwaway players, but these are some players that the Pistons could have used to hit some outside shots. And I think they're still gonna look like one of the worst teams in the league record-wise, but I think you're gonna see like a big improvement.
B+.
Mars.
Oh, hell no. But B+. Getting off Monty Williams, A+. Getting in Tobias Harris and Tim Hardaway Jr., C-. But they added spacing, which I think was a big deal. There was a team that drastically needed spacing. So unironically, I think Tim Hardaway Jr. is actually beneficial for them. And I think Ron Hollins was the best player available for them to draft at 5. And most other situations, I'd say I'd be concerned about the shooting, but Fred Vincent is such a good shooting coach and has such a good track record that I think I'm higher on the possibility of him and Asar or him or Asar figuring it out. Which can be great for them because having both of them on the wings defensively in transition, Asar showing like the flashes of playmaking he has, like the upside is there with those guys, but then you also get the shooting. I think Fontecchio is a really good player. I think a contender would actually really like Fontecchio, but that's neither here nor there. And hopefully JB Bickerstaff can help Jalen Duren on defense because Jalen Duren, when he came in, I thought that was going to be like an all defensive level big, and he's just been criminal for his first 2 years. So hopefully he can figure that out. And yeah, I don't know how many they won, like 14 last year. Like if they win 21, that's a 7-win improvement. Like the bar is so low that I don't think they can be worse. So I think I'm giving them a B+. That's why I go with B+.
I'm actually not mad now that I think about it at Tim Hardaway Jr. and Tobias next to Cade. I actually think they helped Cade tremendously.
Yeah,
so being vet guys, knowing where to be, also being floor spacers, and then guys that can just can go get a bucket or at least get a shot up. I think that helps Cade a lot for real. Like having like legitimate NBA players. Like no knock to the guys that were on the team last year, but
you can
these are guys that have been around the block and they know how to play basketball. They know where to be. I think that.
Ron, I don't think you.
Does, what's up,
Ron? I don't think you. Yeah, I do think you understand, but I think you undervalue when a coach is actively sabotaging how much worse a team can look. Yo, Mars, they almost lost 40 straight games last year, yo. That's how bad this crew was. If it wasn't for Toronto, who threw a monkey wrench in it, them dudes lose 40 straight games. 40. I was looking at their schedule, every loss. I'm like, they not beating them. They not beating them. They definitely not beating them. And then when Toronto shows up, Toronto threw a monkey wrench in it. Because I'm like, this team is losing 40 straight games. And this is the same coach who told you guys before the season, I don't even want the job. He told y'all he didn't want the job. So I don't think I think Ron, you are undervaluing how much a coach can screw a unit up.
Yeah, bro he couldn't turn down that money. He couldn't turn down that money.
Oh no,
Like,
I wouldn't turn it down either. I wouldn't turn it down either.
I'm gonna get this money and be like, look, y'all go out there and hoop. I'm just gonna sit.
And he's still getting paid.
Like, exactly. So he probably
until like 2045 or some nonsense like
that.
Like
he really won. Like anyone,
I swear,
Monty Williams has an A+
You don't gotta do nothing.
I promise you, I'm not firing him.
Bring your ass to work.
For real. And here's the thing: you just might not coach. The assistant coach might not coach, but you're gonna do something. You're gonna pass out waters. You're gonna mop the floor. You're gonna do something
for you.
You don't have a job.
Ass is in Detroit doing
something for you to do.
Hey,
$75 million. Yeah, we're gonna find something for you to do.
Oh yeah.
All right, fellas, we got one more team to get to, but if you haven't given your grade on the Pistons, let me know. How do you feel about their offseason?
B+.
I got A-.
A-? Okay.
Yeah.
B. All right, and last but not least, we got Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors. I don't know what they've done with Lester. How you say his last name?
Quinones, I think.
Lester King.
Yes. Lester, nice.
He been hooping in
like
these pick runs I be seeing. By the way,
Lester, nice. But I've always liked Lester. Even at Memphis, I like Lester a lot. But they also obviously lost Klay Thompson. They lost Chris Paul. They lost Dario Saric. But they got in a nice group of guys, if you will. DeAnthony Melton, Buddy Hield, Kyle Anderson, Lindy Waters III. Jackson Rowe, got him from Santa Cruz G League team. Daquan Plowden, got him from the G League as well. And Reese Beekman from Virginia. How are we feeling? And they just extended Steph Curry too. How do we feel about?
But they're about to trade him to Charlotte. So.
Can we let the demolition be? The demolition has already started. Please, can we just continue with the demolition of the Golden State Warriors? I mean, I'm sorry. Go ahead, boss.
Chill. They're trying to compete.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
Boss,
I promise you guys.
Hey, that was a funny joke.
So you add Buddy Hield. All right, you add Buddy Hield.
Klay Thompson
from
the Bahamas.
I'm not mad at Buddy Hield kicker at all.
You add Buddy Hield, a really good knockdown shooter, right? He's a really good long ball shooter, no question about that. He doesn't do much else besides that. Okay, sure. You add DeAnthony Melton, who I think that he's one of those guys that works somewhere where you shouldn't be working here. You would be much more valued somewhere else. I think that they're going to waste. I think they're going to waste you with you working there. I think that he could provide more value. I think he could provide more value to a legit playoff. Like I think he'd be much better on like Sacramento or somebody like that. I think he'd be much better for a team like that. This Golden State Warriors team, with adding just Buddy Hield and DeAnthony Melton, what direction are they going in? Steph Curry is screwing this thing up. And the reason why Curry is screwing this thing up is because he's still good, Mars. This would not be that big of a deal if Steph Curry at 36 years old was just going the other way and we could easily move off of him. The problem is Curry's still a top 10 player. So with him being a top 10 player, we still got the idea that, you know what? The Golden State Warriors can still compete for the NBA championship. No, they can't. This team is over. Especially considering the way it's put together. This team is
so if the Warriors win their 5th ring this year, Steph top 10.
With this unit,
yes, this team, is Steph in your top 10.
I'm telling you right now, Steph is top 5.
Let's go, Steph. Lock in.
I'm saying for the people in the cheap seats. If the Golden State Warriors win the NBA championship this year with this unit that they have, Steph Curry is top 5.
They're gonna say it was never LeBron's era. It was always
that's what the motivation Steph needs. He can be a chill town hoops top 5.
He's top 5. Yes, he is. With that crew, The demolition has already started, okay? Clay gone. Wiggins about to bounce. Draymond, very tradable, very team-friendly contract. You got Pods, because that's who you're building this unit around. You already told us that you're building a unit around him because you wouldn't give up him for Laurie Marketing. So you're telling us that he's the future. I'm sorry, Ron. Right? So you wouldn't give him up. So you're telling us he's the future.
Oh,
you also got Kuminga. So you're going young with him, Kuminga, and the kid Jackson, right? So Jackson Davis. So you're going young with those guys. If you're going young with those guys, what is Steph Curry still doing here? He's here to sell tickets because we ain't serious about winning. Not in this Western Conference, we're not serious about winning. No way.
Man, listen, man. At this point, bro, with the Warriors, because that's one of them teams that actually makes my blood boil, like just talking about them. Because, bro, let it go, man. I really hate when people can't let it go. We gotta stop, man. They get an F for me. That's the first team to get F for me. Every move they tried to do, they couldn't do it. Couldn't get PG. You couldn't get Laurie. You traded. Well, not trade. I'm sorry.
They would have got LeBron if it wasn't for Rich Paul.
They tried to get LeBron too. Thanks for reminding me. I need to trade Curry. Let it go. Please let it go. I'm tired of hearing people every year. Hey, I ain't gonna lie.
This our year. This is
one
our
more
year.
shooter. We winning. We got
This
it.
our year.
Hey, don't worry. We the 10th seed. Oh, we gonna win. Don't worry about it. All right, bro.
We just need to get in. That's all.
Yeah.
The Warriors win a chip this year. You guys gonna be eating your words, man.
Mars, you know all it takes. So they basically got the Splash Bros again.
Yeah, exactly.
Reform Splash Bros.
Yeah.
All it takes is for Andrew Wiggins to, get his head back.
Andrew Wiggins play like a number one pick because sky's the limit. Number one pick.
Facts.
Yeah.
He finally reaches his potential.
Exactly. So
finally
sky's the limit for Wiggs. You got Draymond getting back to his prime because defense player of the year, all of those things. Carl Anderson was like the number one ranked recruit in high school, so sky's the limit. I'm not gonna lie, you put all of that together.
Wait.
74-8.
Jonathan Kuminga.
Yep. Another high recruit coming out.
That's
Number 7
win.
pick.
Yeah.
Steph Curry was the number 7 pick, and look what he became. So that means Kuminga has Steph Curry potential.
Gary Payton started looking like his father.
Yeah, I mean it's in his DNA. Bronny become LeBron. Same thinking. 74-8 and a championship is on the cards.
I'm telling you, it'll be his era.
I'm buying stock in the Warriors. I believe in it.
Moses Moody finally gets some minutes. He gets to shoot the way he's supposed to shoot.
I seen him in those runs. He was low-key cooking Jalen Green. I didn't want to bring it up, but he was getting to a bucket.
Chat, bro. Listen, I respect Curry. Don't think what I'm saying is like I'm disrespecting Curry. That's not that. They're not respecting Curry. Please let him go, bro. Give him a chance.
To Charlotte. That's what they should do. Trade him to Charlotte.
Yeah, right. So he can win a great. Well, no, he'll be in the same situation, fighting for playing spots again. Oh boy, that'd be so great to watch.
But from his hometown, so
yeah, it's better. He might go his what's it called? The little thing that they do for the last year.
Farewell tour?
Yeah, they might as well just do that if he goes to Charlotte.
That's why it's not gonna be hard to move him, my man. That's why. Because that's $62.5 million. We're gonna make that back times 10 when he announced his retirement. This is my last year. That farewell tour. We're gonna make that bread back times 10. Don't even worry about it.
So none of you guys like the Warriors offseason?
No.
No.
I mean, I wouldn't say for lack of trying though, because they
did try.
They had a good deal. PG wanted to be in Golden State. It's just the Clippers were idiots and didn't accept the trade, and they let him walk for free.
And wait, John, why you mad at the Clippers for that? I'm not helping you make your team better. F you. No.
I just think if it's lose Paul George for nothing or get back Kuminga and I don't know the exact trade detail, but if it's get something back for PG, I'm doing that 100%.
I'd rather burn my house down than help you. That's what I'm doing. I will burn this house down before I help you.
That's all I know is the Warriors and Clippers are both stupid. They both had terrible off seasons. But
garbage.
All right, fellas. All right.
Yeah,
that's what it is for the Warriors. All right, we got some super chats, so I'm gonna go ahead and run through these. Appreciate everybody that's tuned in from start to finish. Let's go ahead and do it. Has been a member for 4 months. Said, crazy how we hype up Rondo for doing the other things about scoring, or the other things other than scoring, then act like Draymond is some run-of-the-mill role player. But dub Ron.
Who's better, Ron? Draymond Green or Rajon Rondo?
I got Draymond.
So Draymond Green is better than Steve Nash.
Yes, he is, Moss.
Two different positions.
No. So Draymond Green is better than Steve Nash.
I mean, he's greater than Steve Nash.
Here we go with the greatest shit. Here we go with the greatest shit. Here we go. Here we go with the
Greater
greatest
than
shit.
Steve Nash.
He
Read
won
your
four.
Superchats, read your Superchat. This is the same. He said he would take Rondo over Luka, Draymond over Rondo. So you got Draymond over Luka? Read your Superchats, man.
It's certain teams. You know what?
Read your Superchats.
I'll read them. Le Steeler said LeBron was still best in the world in 2021 before the injury.
He was very high in the MVP race. I know that. I don't think he was the best in the world. Though.
Julius Irvin said, what Steph averaged in elimination games? 50 in game 7?
He averages 29.
Yeah.
Shout out Steph.
I'm good.
He cooked.
Indoor Voices said, in a single game, I take the player that will play the best while making the least amount of mistakes. Jokic first, LeBron second, Giannis third, and Luka fourth. Shout out Activity became a member today. Appreciate you for coming through.
Shout out to you.
Stone Cold said, Buddy and James be on beef or be on meat.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's
they were sending some shots in the chat. I couldn't necessarily get on. I couldn't find out what was going on. But every time I looked up, we were going back and forth.
Yeah, the chat been wild. The chat been going wild today. I ain't gonna lie.
All I know is Dub Milk. And Dub Panel, El Bozo, Stone Cold said that. And also, shout out to the meat that Buddy and James be on.
Dub meat.
LaFlame said, y'all scoped last stream, but from the limited film I've seen of Bernard King, Tatum clears. He has a case for top 15 small forward, at least. Dub chill.
I consider Tatum as an honorable mention. I won't put him above Paul George, but I consider it.
He ain't there yet.
Head Tap official said Warriors need to trade for Amani. Crunch full time.
Amani could be that KD. Sky's the limit. You see him in high school?
And that's a fact. Mo said, I'm late, but they'll host.
Garbage.
Accurate.
Trash.
Thank you, Mo.
Garbage.
Appreciate you.
Garbage.
And last but not least, Context Clues said yesterday, Dwight Howard said he got back surgery and he was supposed to be out for a year, but he came back in 4 months. How dangerous is that?
That's not good.
No,
Anything to do with your back and that's not good. But that's why I don't like. He got like ridiculed for what he did in LA, but he shouldn't have played.
Especially a big man too.
Yeah. So shout out to Dwight Howard for trying to play through it. But if I was him, I wouldn't have played. So better than me, I guess. I would never do that. I would never mess with my back. Mos Neff just became a member. Big shout out to Mos Neff. And last but not least, Mike chimed in all caps per usual and said Tatum is over Scottie Pippen. Cook.
Okay.
Cook.
Today.
All right, y'all. We will be back
today
on Monday. You guys have a good weekend. We'll see you soon. Chill tomorrow. Pull up.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Later.
No open gym next because
Later.
Mars is tired of you guys.